Welcome to round 2 of the British Motorcycle Racing Championship.
If you want to come in and race one of these, you can with us, but and you're racing in the championship, the same championship with the same club. This is the British Motorcycle Racing Club, the oldest motorcycle racing club in the world, and the first 250 championship, which is our cup, was won by Mike Halewood. These are really cheap to race, cheap to race. And so I started doing it, and then I thought, I wonder where they came from. So I started reading about them, and you just squirt some fuel in, light it, it goes bang, and the pressure wave goes out the back, but leaves a vacuum behind it. Now that vacuum is what Walter realised he could create in an exhaust. And in 1962, Walter and he was like a son to him.
Yeah.
Ernst Deggs had to do was finish the race, right? And he over-revved the bike, and Walter had told him, don't over-rev the bike. This was 62,
yeah,
and it took until 64 before they even got competitive, even with Ernst. So these are 18 coming off the line.
Yeah.
We get 30 out of it. You can get 40 out of it. So this is only a carrier, this top piece. Then the combustion chamber is actually a separate piece that you slot in.
Get there first on that yellow machine with the orange wheels. Oh, we got a rider down already. 2 riders down, Keith, as well. So it's all kicking off down here, Keith. And there are 2 more riders.
I'm here at the Brands Hatch Medical Centre, and I'm here with Jess, who's one of the medics today. I wonder if you tell me a bit about why the benefits that are for racing at Bemsee, please.
Yeah, absolutely. So Bemsee is actually the only racing team in the UK that has a permanent medical team that travels around the UK with them, which means that you'll see the same faces at a lot of the weekends throughout the season, which is a benefit to the riders because you get to know us, but it's also a benefit to us as a team because we get to know each other, we get to work together, we get to practice with each other, and we really are then a much more well-oiled machine when it comes to needing to do anything.
And can you tell me a bit about the makeup of the team you have here today?
Yeah, so you've pretty much got a full hospital team with you within about 60 seconds. So we've got a real mixture of all the acute specialties, which means we've got doctors who work in the emergency department, we've got anaesthetists, we've got people who work in intensive care, we've got doctors who work on HEMS, so the air ambulances, we've actually got a paediatrician in our team as well. Sometimes we have surgeons and orthopaedics with us. And then from the paramedic side, we're also really lucky that we've got a lovely range of paramedics. So we've got our road paramedics who are used to going out and responding to 999 calls. We've also got paramedics who specialise in minor injuries for those wrist sprains and little fractures that we see so much of. And we've also got critical care paramedics who are trained to just that slightly higher level for those really advanced procedures that are needed. So you've got a whole hospital team working together at your fingertips.
Fantastic. In terms of sort of the injuries and things you can treat at the circuit with the medical equipment you've got, vast, I assume.
Yeah, pretty much everything. So we have each circuit has its own kit and equipment, but what we do as Bemsee is that we're really lucky that Bemsee has invested really heavily in the medical team and the kit that we carry over the last few years. So we can do ultrasound. We've got our own ultrasound that we carry. We have a video laryngoscope, which is a special piece of kit that's like a camera, so that if we needed to give somebody drugs to put them into a medically induced coma, we can see exactly what we're doing in your throat, putting the tube down. It's the gold standard of care if you need to intubate somebody. We've got all the drugs and kit that we need. We can deal with everything from your minor injuries, sprains and strains, all the way up to your major trauma, putting someone into a coma, putting them to sleep, doing interventions to help them breathe, to help with bleeding control, and then for the additional bit that would be needed above that, we'd be calling in the local HEMS service that will come and back us up for that.
Yeah.
So the medical team, as well as being here for the riders, we're here for their friends and families and supporters as well. So the paddock at any race weekend, you could be looking up to around 1,000 people, and we will support and care for those people as well if there's any emergencies out in the crowd. We're really lucky with the funding that we've had. A lot of our funding for our medical kit and equipment and for us to be here comes through the Ben Fund, but we are looking to do a bit more fundraising this year. Specifically, we really need some new kit bags to carry all of the amazing kit and equipment that we have. So if you do have any spare money, we would love that to go towards the medical team if you've got that, and we will work on getting our kit top notch for you.
In terms of what you do day-to-day?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'm an emergency medicine doctor by training. I've been in the NHS since 2014, so about 12 years now, and for 10 of that I've been working in motorsport. So I started off as a Brands Hatch doctor, and I'm still one of the doctors who works at Brands Hatch regularly, so you'll see me up here most months of the year. And then in between that, I then about 6 or 7 years ago started working for Bemsee and attending a lot more of the Bemsee events over the last few years. I've got some extra training. I'm doing paediatric emergency medicine as a specialism at the moment, so just spending a bit more time working just with children.
Yeah.
But we cover the full age range in emergency medicine. And I spent a year with the physician response unit as well, so that's doing pre-hospital community emergency medicine in a car out on the road and in people's homes.
Excellent, brilliant, thank you. And can I just ask what got you into motorsport and or medical?
You find a real mixture between doctors and paramedics who do motorsport. You've got those who are really interested in the trauma side and have an interest in the trauma, and those who have a real interest in the racing. Yeah. For me, from an emergency medicine background, it was the trauma side of things that I was interested in. I did a master's in trauma, and that's how I met some people who were working in motorsport and ended up being invited along for an observer, and then I've just come back ever since.
Oh, fantastic.
And I've learnt about the racing as we've gone along, but I'm not an expert in racing.
Well, thank you very much for your time today. That's
You're welcome.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Thank you.
As they bobble their way around. But it sounds like we're going to go for a go. If I what I just heard on the radio is accurate. I don't know if you've got a radio up there, Gary, at all.
I don't. So I'm relying on looking out the window. We'll see. I can just see the pack coming through Druids, and then obviously we momentarily lose them where the Bailey Bridge is.
They want to go. They do want to go for a start. Then.
That's right. They are, because the lights are on.
Okay.
The red lights are on the gantry. So once again, it will be Lee Harpham that controls the pace up to the start line. Slow first gear rolling.
Is it first gear they select, do you think?
Well,
will they go that low?
Probably second.
Yeah, I was going to say first, probably risking a bit of a snap of a chain or a gearbox or something.
Or lights off and away we go. And Aaron Newell was trying to find a gap, but it's Harpham and Morley side by side. Aaron Newell slots into third. It's a bit of jostling behind, but it's Harpham and Morley, the numbers 2 and 1, and Aaron Newell, the black cart, the 40 cart, looking threatening there in third place.
Right, they've come down the hill there, down Denton's. Oh, somebody's threading the needle beautifully there. Goes straight down the middle of two machines, one on each side, and just takes the line there at Cascades. Beautifully done. It's somewhere in the midfield. I can't possibly see a number at the moment, but everybody is safely down through Denton's and down through Cascades for the first time of asking. And as you mentioned just before, Gary, the carts, for those who weren't here earlier, they run a 12-minute race plus a lap. So around about a 7 or 8 lap race. Was it 8 laps they completed earlier or 7 earlier?
It was 8.
It was 8, so it might even be 9 now actually, because it's a lot drier.
Last time was 37.4.
Oh, okay, they weren't hanging around.
They're only about 2 and a bit seconds
wow.
out lap record.
Given how tricky conditions. Oh, big lock up there from somebody as they come into Hizzies for the first time, and everybody desperately trying to gain whatever advantage they can. Watching some of these things drifting beautifully up to the white line. They really are pushing on, and they've got amazing amounts of grip from these little wings and these small tyres.
6 inch diameter, 6 inch width and 8.1 diameter. Other way around. But they run diffusers, rear wings, obviously nose cones as well. But Harpham's got quite a big lead at the end of the opening lap. So it's Harpham from Morley and Aaron Newell looking threatening there in third. Big gap before we see Mark Edwards, Ollie Holmes, and that's Ross Allen. So Ross Allen a bit further back than I would expect in the 3 car. He's got Costa Karitsis on his tail, and then looking further back it's Kurt Cadmore, the 18 car that leads the monos, with Paul Platt there in second, and the 92 of Ben Arden in third place in the monos.
Well, they're all safely through Cascades just yet. They're just the leaders are certainly through. They're already up to Island Bend. I imagine the leaders are probably working Shell Oils already. Actually, again, they're spread out a long way. She said there's a couple of classes here as well, isn't there, of course, just to give us a little bit of variety. I'm waiting for the leaders to come over the top. Well, I had to say it's probably going to be leader, of course, because your man at the front was definitely doing the business in fine style there.
The problem that Morley had in the earlier race, he put brand new slick tyres on, and they took about 3 laps to come on, so that's why in the early stage he dropped back. But obviously he's now got a scrub set on, hopefully. We'll see him possibly progressing it now.
Somebody, I think we've got an incident down there. So somebody's pulled to a halt on the outside of the circuit, just out of Cascades. I can't see the number. I think it's a mechanical failure of some sort. I've just realised that the yellow flag's fluttering down there. I'll see if I can see a number for you. It's obviously a long way from where I am. Number 76. There we go.
One of the Dudleys. So it's still Harper, Morley and Newell. And then this is big scrap for 4th place. Ross Allen now leads the way. Chris Fitzmouth up the inside of Mark Edwards, and Holly Holmes takes it as well. So Mark Edwards losing 2 places on the entry into Old Hall. Paul Platt still there, but he's up ahead of Catamol now.
Okay, so the 76 machine is making himself safe. I don't have a number for 76.
That's Alex
somebody else facing backwards on the grass. I'm guessing that's a spin or maybe a seizure, but that's the number 61 machine that we've lost down here as well. So that's Anthony Keel.
Tony Keel, yeah. Now it's interesting because Alex Dudley was the only mono cup driver to have finished both races, and he was leading the mono cup.
Sorry, mate. I'm thinking those guys might have got together because I've got the 95 machine of Daniel Anson. Yeah, he's also decided to park him on the other side of the circuit, so I'm too busy looking at numbers not to notice the race. I do apologise to the fans down here, but there goes the number 2 machine, still leading the way ahead of the number 1 machine, and then the number 40 machine. They're all safely through. Then it's a big gaggle of outfits coming through, and obviously they're under yellow flag conditions here at the chicane that don't seem to be lifting off very much. The other one out the back that I mentioned before, I've forgotten the number now, but he's made himself safe. He's actually pushed his outfit because he's a long way between our marshals posts actually, so he's actually pushed himself to safety. One of the marshals is there making sure everything is okay. So a little bit of pick-up going to be needed after this race, I think.
Yep, completes 3 laps. Morley's still there in second, but they've dropped Aaron Newell this time. Fastest lap this time goes to Morley at 35.5. And then it's Allen, it's Wiesmal, Ollie Holmes and Mark Edwards. Then it's Costa Kritz is just ahead of the 85 of Lee Plain, and then Paul Von Gerard. And then leading the monos, GP1 of Paul Platt. Got a decent gap over Kurt Catamol, and then it's Ben Arden, the 92 in the 7-Up livery in P3. Mike Parr, the earlier winner of the monos, there in 4th, dicing with the 51 of Luke Burton.
Right, so all the riders involved in the incident down here, the drivers involved I should say, sorry, instinct there, they're both okay, both behind their respective fences and well separated, so they can play the blame game a little bit later. As Harpham now comes past me once again, beautiful control of that little machine there. Morley behind him, and then again a little bit of a twitch there from Newell's machine as he negotiates Hislop out. And there goes Allen, still leading his little battle there on that number 3 machine. Yeah, they're definitely torturing. What sort of tyres do they run? Is it Dunlop still or Bridgestones? What are they?
The Div 1s are mainly on Dunlop. Some of the 250 monos are on Hoosiers.
Hoosiers, that's the tyre we see with the sidecars these days, of course.
So, but mainly they'd say Div 1s are running Dunlop, supplied by Anderson's up at Castleford. So it's still Harpham from Morley through Old Hall, and Aaron Newell still there in 3rd place, 4 laps completed, 5 minutes 19 on the clock. And Ross Allen now coming under a little bit of pressure from Ollie Holmes, the 43. Ollie gets a good exit from Old Hall, chases down through Denton's down to Cascade, so you might find a change of position for a 4th place, the 3 and the 43 running very close together.
Yeah, John Reeder and Richard Connick just came past me there very closely, having a good little battle between those two as well. Most people seem to have somebody to play with around the circuit here.
Yeah, so there's only 34 out there, whereas normally we get 40. But there's still lots of dicing.
Lots of action all the way around the track, mate. A lot of chatter on the radio here as well. Not quite sure what that's about, but something to do with picking things up and stuff like that. Now leaders are into the back markers as well, because I can see Harpen just gone past a couple of back markers. Morley also trying to find his way past so as not to lose any more time. Obviously they were separated by a couple of seconds, but if you can pull up a little bit of a gap through the back markers, like any sort of racing, is something there's sometimes an advantage to be gained there. I've got another yellow flag here coming out of Cascades, but I can see a slow moving machine. I think maybe somebody's had a bit of a loop or something. They don't seem to be going that quick actually. We'll see how they go as they get down to Island.
Harpen crosses the line again. The previous lap was a 34.9, so only 3/10 outside the lap record, but so that was a 35.6 as they negotiate a little bit of traffic, but Morley and Newell still through, and Ollie Holmes has got ahead of Ross Allen. The 3-car has now dropped 3 places on that lap, so Ollie Holmes away safely there in 4th spot, Chris Wiesmel 5th, and the 5-car of Mark Edwards in 6th place, and Allen down to 7th.
Watching the battle in the midfield go past me here. Nobody taking any brave risks. I guess they're going to wait. Do they give them a signal when the time is up and the last lap flag? Can they just give them a traditional last lap flag?
Yeah, it's when the clock ticks down. So it's usually. I've been watching the flags to see if they do. Obviously, I can see that they do for your bike guys. But it's not been too bad in the previous races. But we'll see if. Unlike yours, where it's a set number of laps, ours is a timer. So, provided the flag guys have got a stopwatch or they can see the timing screen that shows them how long to go. So, now safety car. Oh, just to say the lights came on the end of the pit lane.
Slow moving. 34 going very slowly and waving other people past him there. Actually,
that's Daniel Gerard.
Okay. Just watching the leaders working their way through past him and some of the other back markers there. Ooh, big rubber laying moment there for the 83 machine as he comes out of the Hizzy's chicane there. Definitely Paul Von Gerard that was. He was definitely on the lock stops there, I think.
Right, well, Harpen and Morley complete 6 laps and the gap 1.8 seconds, and nothing to split on the times. Newell's still there in 3rd from Ollie Holmes. Ross Allen now back up into 5th place, having demoted Edwards, and Chris Wiesmel has lost the ground that time. 34 Daniel Gerard still running, comes past me, as does the 83 of Paul Von Gerard in 10th place. And then here comes Paul Platt, still to lead the mono class, well clear of the 18 of Kirk Natsmall.
Tell you another battle I'm seeing every single lap as they come past me is Michael Power and Luke Burton. I don't know which place they're arguing over, but they're having a good little scrap. It looks like every time. I think
that's for like 4th in the mono car class.
They're definitely having a good argument over that one. So that's impressive stuff between those two. Key thing is going to be a change of place, but then
well, it's not as they come past me, but there's only about a cart length between.
That's right,
now head down towards Cascades and you.
These quick guys are slicing their way through the back markers, aren't they? They really do.
Yeah, absolutely. They're racing against these guys every week. I mean, obviously it's difficult for the marshals. They don't necessarily understand the difference in the classes. And Morley has crossed the line, whereas the number 2 cart of Lee Harpen disappeared because Morley has come through on his own. Harpen comes through, but at a lot slower pace as Aaron Newell tries to go up the inside into Old Hall, but Harpen's running, but Newell gets past him on the way down through Denton. So the problem for the 2 car of Lee Harpen, we've got 15 seconds left on the clock, so we could be into the last lap, or we could have one more to come, and into pit lane that looks like.
Okay, we've got another retirement down outside of Shell Oils apparently. I've just heard on the radio there, Gary.
And Chris Wiesmel loses his top 6 place into pit lane, a 29 kart retirement. So it's Morley, Harpen, Newell, Holmes, Allen, Edwards playing Karitsis Wiesmel in the pits, and Paul Platt still leading the monos.
Which tend to be the more reliable, the monos or the twins? Or is it a 50-50 thing?
I wouldn't like to put my neck on the
Fair enough. No, you're going to work with these guys every week.
If you took the previous race, there was more monos dropped out in the previous race than there was in twins. But yeah,
I've just watched the number 5 machine go shooting past the number 2 machine there. So Lee Harper.
Yeah, well, Lee Harper says he's in trouble. I'm not quite
Yeah,
sure what
definitely,
it is.
'cause Mark Evans
checker
went
flag
right
goes
past
out.
him.
Checker flag goes out.
Looks
to,
like he's driving for a finish.
Yeah, well, Morley takes the flag to get the win. Johnny West crosses the line, 1 lap down, so we're looking to see who comes through in second. It's a good second place for the 40 kart of Aaron Newell. Ollie Holmes gets
more yellow flags down towards Island Bend as well, mate. So
Edwards across the line in 4th, and then we see a slow running Harpham who just gets pipped on the line by Lee Plain, and Harpham comes across the line in 6th spot. And we've also lost the 3 karts of Ross Allen.
Okay.
The red kart of Ross Allen.
Well, I wonder if that could be up at Island Bend there, because they say that's where there's a bit of action up there in there too. So, yeah, very difficult.
Looking further back for the monos and taking the win, fisting, yeah, as usual. Points number 1, the GP1 of Paul Platt takes the mono victory. We're looking just further back to see who should pick up second. It was Kurt Catmull, the 18 kart. Yes, Kurt crosses the line now, the 18 to get second place, and third should be going the way, well, it's not going to go the way of Ben Arden, because Ben Arden's pushing his kart down the pit lane. So third in the monos is looking like it's going to head the way of Michael Parr, our earlier winner. Yet the 49 kart of Michael Parr gets third place. So just a recap on the results: a win for the reigning champion Liam Morley, second the 40 of Aaron Newell, third the 43 of Ollie Holmes, fourth the 5 of Mark Edwards, fifth the 85 of Lee Plain, and sixth, struggling obviously on those last few laps. We'll try and find out what the issue was, the 2 kart of Lee Harpham. Paul Platt gets the win in the monos from Kirk Catmull and Mike Park. I'm going to see if I can dive down with the roving mic.
Yeah, you've got the roving mic now. I imagine we are going to go for lunch. We haven't had the lunch break yet, and we've got a lot of recoveries to do, so I think we're probably going to have a bit of a break. I'm going to listen to the radio. If you want to wander off with your microphone and pick up to see if hopefully we get a bit of a clear communication. Right?
Row number 3 for this final encounter, race number 4 of 4 for the Austin Jacobs SF Parks Limited Thunderbike 500s. So it looks as though everybody is there on the grid waiting for that green flag. There it is, right on cue. So it will be clutches in, and see Luke McRae just making sure that visor is locked shut. Green flag at the back. Red lights are on now. Red lights are still on. Out they go. And who will get the best launch of fresh air underneath that front wheel? A little bit crossed up there for number 16, Luke McRae. Gets it all under wraps though, but it is Adrian Kershaw who will take the running as they go round Old Hall Corner for the first time. Luke McRae looking to go side by side. That's Finn Shaw from 7th on the grid. He's up to 3rd already. He's found his way through on Sean O'Hara, who's in 4th. But Luke McRae and Adrian Kershaw, the 2 guys out in front, Keith.
Yeah, Luke McRae definitely likes getting a bit of fresh air under that front wheel. He goes a big clutch drop. I think that is Kershaw who's leading McRae at the moment. I think that might still be chalk in 3rd. That time the Scotsman found his mojo there. We know he's capable of going very quick indeed. Everybody safely through Denton's and then Cascades. They disappear off out of my sight. So I'll pick them up when they come back over the top in just a minute. Bradley. So who's the man on the charge at the moment? McRae's got to be the hard one to beat so far after his performance earlier. He's had a very good lap time too, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Fastest lap of the weekend in racing conditions of a 1 minute 59.052, and I think from memory he won all 4 races at Brands Hatch as well.
He did indeed, yeah.
He certainly has the momentum behind him at the moment. Race winner from earlier on today.
A lot of momentum coming down the hill, side by side action. Oh, a little bit of a twitch there, and unfortunately going straight on, that is going to be Finn Chalk. We've seen him do that on his 900 as well. He regains onto the track. He stays well out of the way, but comes up the hill in 3rd place. But he's got a good drive, so I think he's going around the outside. I think it might be Kershaw. I'll have to be corrected on that one. It might be McRae leading though, I think. So I think Chalk basically went for a desperate last dash manoeuvre, twitched a little bit. Obviously these little suckers don't have fancy things like ABS and things like that. They do tend to lock their front wheels and go violently out of control very quickly. I'll get you to confirm them when they come across the line though there, Bradley.
Yeah, I'll certainly keep my eye on them as they come back into our sight here, and that is certainly Luke McRae who is leading the way out of Deer's Leap underneath the bridge. Adrian Kershaw is there in 2nd position. Pitboard goes out then for Finn Chalk, in fact, who's up in the second. So Finn Chalk is in second. That's a change for third. Across the line, it was Adrian Kershaw ahead of Joe Holdsworth, but this time around it's Joe Holdsworth who finds himself up in that third place position now. Further down the order, there's Sean O'Hara rounding out the top 5. Phil Jansen, first of the rookies, ahead of Pete Woodall. Max McRae on bike number 62. He's in 8th place at the moment, but first of the C3 riders. Mark Osborne, good to see Mark out there on the track after the DNF earlier on today. Top 10 rounded out by Matt Sylvester.
Well, Holdsworth, we think, ran into some sort of tyre trouble in the earlier race today. We haven't had confirmation of that because, unfortunately, we don't have a whole army of little paddock spies who can run around the place and get us all these little snippets of information, unfortunately. But I do suspect he had some sort of issues because he was very, very quick yesterday. Sean O'Hara, we saw him on the podium yesterday, and he's come across the line in 5th place there. Phil Jansen made up 4 places from the start and runs with O'Hara, which is what he did yesterday on his way the way for O'Hara to get onto the podium. And of course it was another win in the rookies for Jansen, definitely looking favourite in the rookies. McRae Max leads the heavyweight class as well, so it's a good day for work for family McRae. However, Luke has got some pressure coming onto him from behind as Finn Chalk chases him hard up the hill, and there's not too much of a gap between any of these riders. Just watching him through the Hizzy chicane here onto Knickerbrook, watching everybody safely through here. We have seen a couple of incidents here, of course. Interesting variety of lines coming through Hizzies as well. Some people working it very hard, trying to desperately to get the bike back ready for the drive up the hill. You think it'd be important to get the second part of the corner right, because obviously as you're getting the power on, the quicker you get out of this corner, the faster you'll be as you make your way up to through. Is everybody safely past me, Bradley? And by now I imagine the leaders are probably back with you, aren't they, mate?
Certainly are. Here we go. Across the line at the end of lap number 2, it's Luke McRae who leads, number 16. Luke McRae. Finn Chalk closes up on the brakes, but isn't close enough to challenge. Holdsworth is there in 3rd. Kershaw and O'Hara in 4th and 5th. Max McRae at the inside of Pete Woodall for 6th position. That drops Pete Woodall down to 7th, with Phil Jansen still there in 8th place. That's number 59, Calvin Grimes, up the inside of Colt Dwyer, so that will be a change of position for 13th place overall, as the rest of the riders make their way past.
Just looking there, the fastest man on the track at that particular time round was Holdsworth in 3rd place there, so he's working the slipstream very nicely indeed, and he's only half a second away from the lead as well. So that's very close stuff. The top 3 covered by half a second. A little bit of a gap back. Then we've got Kershaw, a bit back to O'Hara then. And also Woodall and Max McRae having a good little scrap as well. A little bit further back, Sylvester and Osborne also very close across the line there, with Horner, Carter and Dwyer having a 3-way battle, with Grimes tagged on the back by just a fraction of a second. So lots of battles throughout the field. Fastest man on the track then, Holdsworth. He's looking to get some revenge on what happened to him earlier today as they crest the hill over the top once again. He's tucked in tight trying to pick up a slipstream. Know how strong Max is in there. No, he's actually found a way. That's Chalk. That's Finn Chalk. I can see those very distinctive wheels blurring away. I don't know if you've noticed Finn's wheels, mate, but they're a very, very good effect on them. Makes it very, very noticeable. I don't think I've ever seen that on a bike before, but it definitely makes you know which bike you're looking at. Anyway, he's ahead of McRae now. So Finn Chalk suddenly the man to catch, with Holdsworth hanging on there and Kershaw just trying to catch up. It'll be interesting to see the sector times. I imagine it will be Chalk who will be quickest in that first sector there. It is indeed, and it's a very average time for Holdsworth, though he goes a little bit quicker than McRae as well. So I think Luke's going to have his work cut out if he wants to claim another 25 points here, Bradley.
Yeah, it's going to be a tall order, isn't it, as they come around to complete lap number 3, and that will mean that we are approaching half race distance then, as Finn Chalk leads Luke McRae. But here comes Luke McRae. Can he get the inside? No, not this time around. And I see what you mean about Finn Chalk's wheels. I think the only time I've seen something like that on wheels is normally in Supermoto, but as you say, it makes it very easy to spot with them blue and white wheels. I thought you were going to say Super Mario Kart.
That
too. So there goes Max Sylvester, Mark Osborne and Jamie Horner having a good fight. A little way back, that looks to be Colt Dwyer, who's just keeping Ian Carter and Calvin Grimes at bay. It looks like we've got another 3-way fight just behind them as well, but all eyes on the front. The gap was 0.121 of a second between Finn Chalk, Luke McRae. Up next by just 0.4 of a second behind, that is Joe Holdsworth. He has a 2.8 second advantage over Adrian Kershaw. First of the rookies, Phil Jansen in 8th position overall. Next up is Adams in 19th position overall. 3rd at the moment, 7.16, and that is Stephen Davies.
leading trio there, well away. These three really going at it, hammer and tongs. We haven't seen Chalk on the podium all weekend, but I do know the Scotsman is very capable of being right there, and he's obviously travelled a long way to compete in this race. Here we come then, on brakes into Hizzies once again. This time it's McRae who's taken over the front running from Chalk, with Holdsworth ready to pick up any pieces that fall his way. A little bit back is Kershaw. He's a Billy No Mates at the moment, but it's a safe 4th place overall. We are talking overall, we're not worrying about the classes at this stage. Number 7 of O'Hara also having quite a lonely race as well. Then it's Big McRae who's up next, and that's Pete Woodall right behind him as well. And then the impressive rookie Phil Lyanson behind him, and then come the rest of the field. Pretty much everybody's got somebody to play with here. Oh, somebody being a bit lonely, but not to worry.
Got them
Just
up
to prove me wrong. Go on, mate.
up at Lodge here, and it's Luke McRae who leads the way. He's gone purple in sector number 1, Keith, as you said. Finn Chalk is there in the middle of that three-way sandwich, because Joe Holdsworth looks like he's trying to close that gap as well. Across the line again, pit boards go out for Finn Chalk, looking for that inside, not quite close enough, but he is so strong onto the brakes. Into Oldhall corner is the Scotsman of Finn Chalk. He looks like he's got the run on Luke McRae up the inside into Denton's. I think he may have got that done, Keith. Luke McRae just having to give way for the race lead, because Finn Chalk was muscling his way through.
He's muscled his way through, yep. He's given it the full sole tyre charge there, and Holdsworth just dropping off the back by a little bit. I think he might have lost the toe, actually. I think he's at 6 or 7 bike lengths behind, which is that critical kind of toe point that you need to be able to stay in the toe. Hopefully he can make it back up in some of the twisty bits, but Chalk has most definitely hit the front, and he's looking through. I think it'll be Finn's first gold medal with us, actually, because I don't recall him racing too much with us last year at all. So if Finn can pick up a gold medal, that'd be absolutely brilliant. That'd make the long drive back to Scotland a lot easier, I think.
Just a quick one, Keith. We've got a couple of riders returning to the pits. One of those is 110 Will Kearney, and the other one just coming down pit lane now was number 43 of Max Sylvester, the man from Horncastle.
Okay. Well, unlucky. It's not very good to go home early. Yeah, the man from Fife now leads McRae and Holdsworth. Holdsworth is, I don't know if he's playing a waiting game. I don't think you can afford to play a waiting game in this sort of class, really. I think you've just got to try and punch your way to the front and break the rest of them. O'Hara having a lonely race, that very confident 5th place overall for him, of course, and I think he's pretty doing well in class. O'Hara is 2nd in the middleweight class. McRae is the other middleweight man, but Chalk also counts as a lightweight as well. That big battle in the middle, yesterday's race winner involved in it. Who was yesterday's race winner, the first ever race winner? Sorry,
that was Mark Osborne.
Osborne, there we go. Sorry, just lost his number there briefly. And yeah, he's involved in a bit of a scrap there. I'm surprised to see him going quite so. I guess it was the tricky conditions yesterday that played into his hands, of course. It was that lottery with the tyres and the weather and everything, wasn't it, yesterday?
Got the leaders coming past me now there, and Finn Chalk has got the race lead, but Luke McRae is being wheeled on by Abby down here on the pit wall. So Luke McRae 0.091 of a second behind Finn Chalk. Finn Chalk fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 57.635. Joe Holdsworth, he went purple in sector number 1 and says his personal best lap of the race of a 57.692. So the gap covering the top 3 is 0.571, Keith. Half a second covering 3 bikes.
Yep, that's certainly the way it looks on the track here. But, let's see who's going to get the advantage here by the end of the race. You've only going to be leading this race at one small point, as we all know. Chalk, though, is definitely looking the quicker of the bunch there. He has set the fastest lap of the race on that last lap, a 57.635. Is that the quickest lap we've seen so far this weekend, mate?
Let me have a look. Yes, it is.
I thought it was. There we go. That confirms it. Still a perfect lap to be found out there as well, though, because I think if we add the best laps, the best sector times together, I think there's a 56 out there somewhere, but they're all too busy tripping over each other as McRae now takes the lead once again from Chalk, and Holdsworth only that 2-3 bike lengths back as well, certainly unable to gain a position if somebody makes the slightest mistake there. Kershaw now too far back to prove anything of a challenge in this race, as indeed is O'Hara. McRae and Woodlow still maintaining their good little battle as they come past me. The wily old MZ veteran and former double champion, at least double champion. He knows what he's doing. Then behind him we've got Ianson on his own, and then comes that great little battle that is between Horner, Osborne, Carter, Dwyer and Grimes, all in the mix there, all arguing over some minor places. They've got class points to worry about as well.
Here we go, Keith. This is the start of the last lap. This is lap number 7 of 7. Finn Chalk goes up the inside of Luke McRae as they went in towards Old Hall Corner. Next up is Adrian Kershaw. So looks like Holdsworth did go through sector number 1, but Keith, I haven't had Joe Holdsworth come past me here. Sean O'Hara is across the line now. That puts him into 4th place. There is Max McRae, Pete Woodall. Pete Woodall then, so not on the racing line. Have to have a look further into that one. Phil Jansen across the line, but no sign of Joe Holdsworth. The man on bike number 38, seemingly dropping out of the race on the penultimate lap, but across the line, Luke McRae, 1 minute 57.407. That's the fastest lap of the race, fastest lap of the weekend for the Thunderbike 500s. Just goes to show how much he wants this win.
Yeah, no, he desperately wants this win. He really does. Somebody else pulling to the side of the track on the way down the hill there as well, so that's going to need recovering. Yes, it's going to need recovering. One of our novice riders, I'm afraid, so somebody won't be tripping the timing beam anymore. Yellow flag waving there at the top of the hill. Obviously the leaders are going to come over. It's a popular overtaking spot. It's exactly what I think the plan was for McRae, but he's had to pull it in because of the yellow flags. They're back into the green zone at the chicane here. They're literally separated by a bike length. Chalk elbows out, trying to find a way around. The big elbows of McRae behind him. Gets good drive going up the hill. He's put himself in a perfect position to maybe look at a pass at Druids. I wish I could see what's going to happen up there. Is McRae going to find a way through? Is he going to save his powder till he gets to Lodge? We'll have to wait and see. It's good news for Kershaw, of course, because that moves him up a place, and O'Hara will also move up a place too. In fact, O'Hara's still second in class.
Spanner in the works there, could be the yellow flags up at Druids, and it looks like Finn Chalk there was leading the way, but Luke McRae at the inside at Lodge. That could well be the race-winning move. Down Dearsley, then they're coming back into our side, and it's side-by-side action there between Luke McRae and Finn Chalk. It will go all the way down to the line. As they cross the line, it's Luke McRae by 0.083.
Oh, unlucky Finn. Would have been so nice to take that gold medal back to Fife with you, and maybe if the race had got another couple of laps there might have been a change there, but unfortunately it's now a 7-lap race, so he is relegated in that place. Kershaw does indeed finish in 3rd. Good effort from him. O'Hara makes it up to 4th. Second in class for him too. Max McRae 5th and 1st in class in the heavyweight guys. He beats Pete Woodall home. First of the rookies home is going to be Philip Jansen. When we've got, I've got to wait for him to come across the line actually, because that's been a very close battle for the minor placings. It is indeed. Yep, it's Osborne, Horner, Carter, Dwyer. Jansen gets dropped. What's happened now? What's happened to Philip Jansen? He looks like
dropping down the order there.
He is, isn't he?
Can't see anything around the circuit on the cameras there, Keith. Hold on. To your right-hand side, on the inside of the circuit.
To my right-hand side there. Now, I wonder if that's Philip coming down the hill. It did look like a rookie rider, to be fair. I can't pick up a number. Let me see if the old binoculars can reach that far. They've been doing a good job for me today so far. So let's have a quick look if I can get info. No, it's just that. No, I need to go to Specsavers, I'm afraid, Bradley. I just can't quite make that one out. I'm going to tell you it's a rookie rider. I wonder if that is Philip. Well, the good news there is for, I think, is it Paul Adams, the Gillingham rider, who now claims the rookie win there?
Let me have a look there for you. Yeah,
I think, isn't
absolutely
it?
right. Yeah, 155. Cool. Paul Adams. He is the race winner in the rookies. So good stuff there for Paul Adams.
Well, he'll be a happy pounder. He gets to take home a gold medal, I think. I'll get all very confused with the classes in the 500s because there are effectively 4 classes plus the overall. But yeah, Max Maud finishing as well there. So we lost a couple of bikes along the way, and most notably, of course, Joe Holdsworth. Joe Baldry didn't make the start either. They're not sure what happened to big boil on the bum Baldry, as he's known to his friends. It's the first time I've mentioned it all weekend, so be grateful for that, Joe, and hope to see you out. So fair play to you. Obviously that's not in the books, we don't have a rookie 400 class, but you also hold the ultra lap record as well. It's quite something really, isn't it?
Yeah, that one's not on a Kawasaki though, which is what it says in the thing. So.
Oh, okay, no, go on. I'm in charge of these things, mate. So let me correct you. What?
The old Yamaha. So.
No problem at all. I'm happy to amend it. Hopefully Yamaha will appreciate it and give you a free bike at some point.
Here we go, Keith. Lights are out, and Tyler Donovan gets a good launch. Morgan Creasy had a little bit of fresh air underneath the wheel, but holds on to 2nd place. Clinton Wood is up next ahead of the first of the extremes. That's Tony Russo. So at least the front 4 on the grid. That is still the order as they run down in towards Cascades. That was Connor Swire, number 20, who just slotted into 6th place, I think that was.
Well, wait and see how they get on. Obviously, the wind is picking up here. Hopefully, Storm Dave's rain is not going to hit us at any point. They disappear up the road there. So how often do you come to race meetings, Abe? I haven't seen you for ages.
It's only the second one in 4 years.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, you can tell I've been trying to stay away, otherwise I'm going to be on the grid.
Yeah, you get that kind of so I want to be out there. I can go faster than that. And you, to be fair, one of those people who can sit in the grandstand and actually back that up with some actions as well if you really wanted to.
Yeah, but it's quite nice spectating. I do enjoy seeing everyone having a laugh. And, and I can be the one to drink the beers at the end of the day racing. So, yeah.
Excellent stuff. Right, the bike's coming into my view then. And I think from this distance that looks like TD. Yep, Tyler Donovan leading away from Morgan Creasy. Clinton Wood is there in third place at this stage. Fourth place, that's going to be Tony Russo. Then it's Connor Swire. David May is behind him. And then I recognise that bike. I can't remember who it is on there. Not going to worry about it. They disappear up the hill out of sight now. Yeah, it's Underhill. There we go. I knew that. I can't remember which one the 105 machine was. It's John Holden up next. Sean Wallace is in the mix there too. And I think Matt Wren. Hopefully Matt's sorted out his little braking issues. He seemed to be going straight on here quite a bit. Are they back with you, Bradley?
Yeah, coming in towards Lodge Corner now, and that is Tyler Donovan, Morgan Creasy. We've said it so many times before, and that is the order as they come out of Deers Leap across the start-finish line to complete the first lap. Holly's there with the pit board for Morgan Creasy, and it will say plus 0.2 of a second. So Donovan has a 0.2 of a second advantage over Morgan Creasy. Clinton Wood up 2 positions. Tony Russo in 4th ahead of David May. Connor Swire 4th of the Ultras, 6th overall at the moment ahead of Matt Wren, James Underhill, Sean Wallace, Tom Hodge. There's John Holden, David Abraham and Paul Fack rounding out the 13 strong field as he peels in towards Old Hall Corner, but it is a 0.2 of a second advantage for Tyler Donovan over Morgan Creasy.
Well, we'll wait and see if he can repeat that feat from earlier. Tyler Donovan certainly riding very well around this circuit. The good news for you, Aidan, is I don't think it's lap record conditions in this sort of wind and chilly track temperatures that we've got at the moment, because it's always nice to see your name in the programme in the lap record section, isn't it?
I'll try and hold on to it for as long as I can. But it's so windy today. We were stood at the top of just outside the commentary box.
Yep.
And it's ridiculous.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, so I don't
that's why the races have been shortened this afternoon. I think race control are desperately trying to make up some time before Storm Dave hits properly, because we saw some filthy weather yesterday. I know you were here yesterday, so you would have seen the torrential rain that we had. But you mix it with the cold, the rain, with the wind that we've got coming, then it would be truly horrific.
Yeah,
so
it's a bit sketchy out there, I think. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, no change in the order as they come past me. Apart from David May's made his way past on Underhill there. I don't think he was there before, so I think David wants to go home this weekend with a win. So he's got Tony Russo well on his sides. I'd keep an eye on that one if I was you, Bradley, because David May, former champion in the extremes, would like to prove that there's life in the old dog yet.
Certainly were. He was second of the extremes, 4.8 seconds away from Tony Russo as they came across the line at the end of lap number 1. And there is Tyler Donovan ahead of Morgan Creasy. Morgan, that thing was on the move all the way in towards Old Hall Corner, but Morgan's got it under control. I mean, he comes from a motocross background, but that was a little bit too close to comfort for my liking.
A bit of speedway, I think.
Just a little bit, wasn't it? That was fully on the move.
Matt Wren's made some ground.
Yeah, it's up 2 positions on this lap. Connor Swire's just dropped 3 positions on that lap. Personal best of a 1:59, but Morgan Creasy 1 minute 46.512. That's the fastest lap of the race. 3/100ths of a second quicker than your race leader, the reigning champion, Tyler Donovan. But I was going through the socials the other day, Aidan, and I genuinely thought you had an entry for this week.
Yeah.
No, I do apologise. I think well, no one saw the second post, but everyone saw the first one.
Always the way. What was the second post in April's Fool?
Yeah, it was me trying to squeeze into set 11s.
Yeah, no AI either, was it?
No, that was genuine.
Looks like a lot of retirement, unfortunately, Keith. That's Tom Hodge, number 96, who's just returning back to the
Sorry, mate, got a challenge here, and it is Creasy around the outside of Donovan, coming down into his chicane. Looks like Wood's got his hands full with Russo as well as the leader. New leader, Morgan Creasy, is trying to make up for that loss of results. Russo doesn't find his way past on Clinton Wood. Looks like, where's David May gone as well? He's dropped back a couple of places, so any hopes of finishing higher than second in class, I think, might have gone out the window at this stage. So he must have had a wobble somewhere around the circuit, but keep an eye on that battle. But I know what Tyler Donovan's like. He knows how to put together a championship. Mind you, so does Morgan Creasy, of course, albeit one of them was particularly lucky because his main rival spannered himself at the last round, as indeed did Morgan, to be fair. But that's the way championships are sometimes won, isn't it, Bradley?
Well, I wouldn't know. Aidan would know more about that than me.
Yeah, it's true.
Consistency is key.
Yeah, there we go.
That's what we all try and do anyway.
Right, even if it is on the ragged edge, yeah.
Top 4 are across the line there, Keith, and Tony Russo has got quite an advantage over the next of the extremes.
Here comes that red.
Up the inside.
It's a great move.
Oh, James Underhill there just being put down a position, so that's James Underhill down to 6th position, and that's 5th in the
Yeah, no, he got him back, so Matt's back to 6th.
Good man.
So what about your old mate, Mr. Oh, sorry, I'm just watching Mr. Wren have a good look at Mr. Underhill there. Doesn't quite make it. What your old mate, Mr. Palmer? We haven't heard from him for a little while either. Well, how's he getting on?
Yeah, they're good. Him and Ben are good. They do a lot of motocrossing these days. To keep the brains ticking. Some motorbike under them. So.
Yeah, as long as there's two wheels good. Anything else is bad, as we all know. So good. No, just Steve, we haven't seen him for a little while as Creasy comes down with Donovan hot on his heels. Now, is Tyler going to play the cautious game and think, do you know what, that guy was disqualified from the earlier race. I've got a little bit of a lead in the championship in real terms because he's had a much better weekend than his main rival Clinton Wood overall. So you're going to think, will he be riding for the points, or will he be desperate to beat Morgan? What do you reckon?
He's going to try and do it. I think he's not going to let this one slip. That's just me.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't. I don't know. Really not quite sure what obviously it's very hard to get inside a racer's plane when they're actually on track.
Just as you say that was Tyler Donovan going up the inside of Morgan into Lodge, but went a little bit wide. Morgan's got the lead back as the pit wall goes out again for Morgan, and this time around they're in the 46s and 47s for Morgan Creasy and Tyler Donovan.
I think Morgan will know what the gap is, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Naffle.
Clinton Wood through next ahead of Tony Russo. That's first of the extremes for Tony Russo. Of course, he is the reigning champion and has taken all 3 wins in the extreme so far this weekend, which is good stuff for him.
Yep, good way to defend your championship, that's for sure. And he did take 3 seconds and a win at Brands Hatch as well, Tony. And of course, those 3 seconds were behind Don Gilbert, who was only out playing for the day or for the weekend. So
we're just watching Matt Wren trying to get the power down as he went down the avenue. There's a little bit of fresh air under the front wheel, and they're Aidan
pulling some stunts for the crowd. But yeah, he's up to 5th now, so that's cool.
That's a good result for the man from TBR Performance there.
I think Connor Swire might have an issue or something, but he's been a lot stronger all weekend. It's a bit of a shame, really, the last one, but...
Yeah, it's a long time to wait and a long drive home to have a bike problem, isn't it, at this end of the weekend? Yeah. It's always annoying.
Got 3 cups, though, so I think he's happy.
Yeah.
And it was, so the last race yesterday, I went over and spoke to him, and it was the first call, and it was iffy conditions, and I said, guys, I think it's dry. And we had a frantic 2 minutes. I think we could do world endurance pit stops with her. With the pit stop we did yesterday.
Okay. You've only got another minute 50 to find, and you're away. No, it's frantic tyre changing. Well, that's what impressed me at Tyler Donovan at Brands Hatch. You weren't there, of course, Aidan, but we basically had 10 minutes to change the tyres because a sudden storm came across before the last race. Poor old Tyler didn't have a wet-on wheel ready to go, so he ran across from the pits, from the garages, over to the paddock with his wheel in hand to get Rod Harwood to rapidly change it, then rush back, get the wheel in, and he literally made it to the collecting area as the others were just on the grid getting ready to go. He was skin of the teeth stuff. No, it was a real kind of champion's effort to get to the grid there. It was very impressive stuff. So yeah, now you got me thinking. Yeah, he's not going to give up a second place here. Accept a second place, I should say. But I will say Morgan is a tough cookie to pass, isn't he, Bradley? He's proven himself to be a very hard competitor in the past.
He doesn't know when he's down and out, does he?
No.
He never is down and out. He's always the one scrapping. But yeah, he's had 1 win so far this weekend. Tyler Donovan has taken the other 2, so it comes down to this. Will it be 2-2 or 3-1? We'll have to wait and see.
Over the top they come then, and there's still advantage. Creasy, Donovan pulls out. He's not quite. He can't do it from there. I thought he was going to have a good go. He was about 3 bike lengths back. That would have been too far, but I think he's trying to let Creasy know he's there. I don't think he was quite close enough to really put enough pressure on him. Creasy's got a slight advantage. How long have we got left in this race, mate?
This is the penultimate lap. It will be the last lap.
One more. Then the hurry-up flag's about to come out. Clinton Wood and Tony Russo, they're maintaining the pace that they have all weekend as well. And again, this isn't really a battle for class. It's just overall pride and overall track position. Tony Russo riding very well once again this year, though, isn't he, Bradley?
He really is. As I said, he's got 3 wins so far on the weekend, looking good for a 4 out of 4 as the leaders in the Ultras make the way around Lodge down Deers Leap. And as the drive to the line to take the last lap flag. So just one more lap to go in this final Thunderbike Ultra race. And it is Morgan Creasy who holds a very slim advantage of 0.185 of a second. But Tyler Donovan puts in the fastest lap of the race with 2 purple sectors, 1 minute 46.297.
Okay, here we go then. Down the avenue through Denton's onto the last lap. It's an advantage over Creasy by about 5, 6, 7 bike lengths or so. I think he's broken the toe to Donovan. So if Tyler wants another gold medal to add to his extensive collection, he's really going to have to find something out the back there because he is running out of time very rapidly indeed. I think that other battle for the minor placings there as well is probably with you as well, isn't it, Bradley?
Yeah, James Underhill's just coming past us now. He's through Old Hall Corner. Matt Wren is there right behind him. But
they've been scrapping for the last 4 laps, I think.
Having a good time out there. That is for a 5th and 6th position on the circuit. Dave May is 0.9 of a second away from that battle, but still second of the extremes, 1.6 seconds up the road from Sean Wallace, who currently rounds out the podium. In the
leaders Crest Hill in front of me. It is Creasy with Donovan again having a look, but Creasy is strong on the brakes into here, so Donovan has no answer to it. It's about the same gap as it was before, probably 3 or 4 bike lengths as they make their way through Knickerbrook up the hill. I think Tyler's maybe going to have one last chance at Lodge, but he's too far back at the moment to really have a good charge unless he can pick up some serious time through Druids or something like that. Wood still leads Russo through here again, very similar gap to what it has been for most of the race. We're going to let you watch at Lodge and see if you can pick up the leaders, Bradley.
Yeah, we're trying with it going underneath the bridge now. I mean, are you ever too far back at Lodge? Morgan Creasy hard on the brakes there, not as hard as Tyler though, because Tyler just points out of the apex. I think Morgan's going to get the cut back. They're out of sight. They'll burst back into our sight very shortly now, and there it is. Morgan Creasy gets the win ahead of Tyler Donovan, but Tyler Donovan, fair play. Yeah. He was about as hard on the brakes as you possibly can be, wasn't he?
That was a great little overtake. Shame we got him on the run, but
well, that's the way to play that game, really, isn't it? Let somebody past almost, and if you can get the power down, we've seen a couple of moves like that. It's a good little last section, but nonetheless, it's a fair play to Tyler Donovan for his results on the weekend, and big up to Morgan Creasy for coming back from the little issues that he's had. Right, the rest of the battles are getting resolved. I think Clinton Wood and Tony Russo are going to go across the line in that order, aren't they, mate?
Certainly are. Clinton Wood ahead of Tony Russo by 0.19 of a second. Here comes the fight between James Underhill and Matt Wren.
That was a great battle. Matt unfortunately lost out on that one, but
only by a fraction, I think, though, wasn't it?
So, yeah, it was 0.111 of a second. So personal best lap of the race for David May on that final lap there, Keith, as well, as he finishes 1.5 seconds up the road from Sean Wallace. So that is 2nd and 3rd in the extreme, silver and bronze for Dave May and Sean Wallace. Just waiting now for John Holden on that Aprilia RSV Melee. There it is, taking the checkered flag for what will be the final time of the weekend for John Holden. One of the rookie riders with the orange bib, as Connor Swire comes across the line with David Abraham. And I think you're right there, Aidan. Of course, earlier on we saw Connor in the 1 minute 50s. Connor Swire fastest lap of this race, a 1 minute 57. So
yeah,
not
something
sure.
might be up there.
Yeah,
it's a shame, but he can hold his head high. He's had a good weekend.
That's true Bemsee spirit right there, isn't it?
It certainly is. It's yeah, that's what we like to see, isn't it?
Well, absolutely. No, I just saw him at the bottom of the garage. I don't know if where he was heading to with the wheel and tyre, to be fair, but thank you very much indeed, Mr. Creasy. That could be the difference in the championship at the end of the year, quite frankly. So that's true team spirit there, right there, isn't it?
Green flag is up, and we are away racing for the rookie 600s. Keaton Leatherland from pole position. He's the man who will lead them ahead of Fraser Lysachenko, and it really has been about those two guys for the wins this weekend, hasn't it?
Nobody else has had a look even close.
No, I mean, the lap record has been broken this weekend as the red lights are on for the Open 500s. Out they go, and Luca Wilkinson and Sean Crone, they are the young men to beat in this class, but it's going to be Luca Wilkinson who leads them into Old Hall there ahead of Archie Ormerod. Jake Donkersley just about squeezing his way through into 3rd place ahead of Sean Crone. But everybody through safely. I can see that that's Damien Lee, light blue bike with the yellow wheels, number 261 Damien Lee in the mid-pack for the Open 500s. But as they left me, Keith, it was Keaton Leatherland who led the way in the rookie 600s ahead of Fraser Lysachenko. They're just heading in towards Britain's chicane now, and that still seems to be the order. It's the black and red number 221 Yamaha R6 of Leatherland ahead of the number 36 Yamaha R6 of Fraser Lysachenko.
At this stage, I'd say well ahead, actually. He's already got a very decent gap there. It's going to be around about a second or so, certainly very close to it, as Leatherland lines himself up for the Knickerbrook. And I'm watching him out of the corner there. Yeah, no, Leatherland, I think, has got unfinished business, should we say. Now, he knows there's a 47 out there somewhere. I don't know if there still is, given the conditions have definitely closed in a little bit since the earlier race. However, it looks if anybody can do it, and I think he might be able to. Albert Hall running in third place, so it's another good, strong performance from him. And this time it is Luca Wilkinson who leads Sean Crone, but we all know that could change before races end, don't we, Bradley?
Yeah, it certainly can do, but the lead that Keaton Leatherland has over Fraser Lysachenko at the end of lap number 1, it's opened up to 1.378 seconds over Fraser Lysachenko. Just having a look to see, got a few riders going down the order, but whether they were at the start there, I don't believe they were. Number 62 just coming through, that is the number 62 of Hargreaves. So that's James Hargreaves. He started 10th on the grid. He's made up 2 positions, make that 1 position, because the number 27 and 88 bikes seem to have a bit of an iffy transponder. So 88 is Albert Hall.
Yep.
Open 500s are into the thick of things with some of the slower 600s now. Luca Wilkinson leads that one ahead of Sean Crone, Archie Ormerod and Jake Donkersley. First of the 2 strokes is Damien Lee ahead of Hayden Smith. So it's good to see Hayden Smith out there on the circuit, because I think he had a closer look at the scenery.
Yeah, he decided to pay a bit of a visit to the girls and boys down here at Cascades earlier. Fortunately, without too much injury to himself. I think he was more just annoyed with himself. As Leatherland continues to lead, he's probably doubled that gap since last time. Maybe not quite doubled it, but he's certainly put another few tenths into him and Lysachenko. And he's showing the rapid man from Taunton what a clean pair of Pirellis looks like, because he is absolutely flying. Albert Hall continues to hold on to third place. Again, we don't know what the plans are for everybody. As Aidan was saying, it's consistency over a season. Well, we had a quick chat with Lysachenko yesterday, and apparently he's not allowed to race for 10 weeks before his marriage. So basically after May, he won't be competing anymore, though you do wonder, you'll be looking at a championship thinking, you know, you've got one chance to grab a rookie championship at the end of the day, and also set some rookie lap records along the way. So you've got to think, if you're going to go for it big, I reckon. You know, you can get married any time, can't you, Bradley?
You said that, not me. So across the line, here you go, Keith. So earlier on we saw that Keaton Leatherland did a 1 minute 47.9, and he said there may be a 47 today. How about a 1 minute 47.2? Whoa!
Please finish the race, please, Mr. Leatherland, because obviously he did a 47.9, and so he's just taken another 7/10 of a second off of his previous best. And to put that in perspective, the previous rookie 600 lap records was Tom Newman's, and that was set 9 years ago, of 48.848. So he's just taken a second and a half off the lap record. That is remarkable stuff. No wonder Lysachenko's struggling to stay with him. There's absolutely no doubt about who is the quickest man around Cadwell Park in the rookie 600s. That is a remarkable effort. Is that him cresting the hill now? That can't be sure.
Oh, it looks like we've got a retirement at Britons.
Oh, no. I don't believe it. Lysachenko's coming past me, mate. I think it's Leatherland again.
That is very...
I don't believe it. That's gutting. Sets a 47.2, and unfortunately...
I can see he's just pushing the bike off to the side now.
Oh, no, that's a great shame for Linton Leatherland. Because, again, as I say, you've only got one chance, and certainly with our club, you might be able to come with another club and break their rookie lap record at some point, and it'd be great to see that. But unfortunately, the Tom Newman's lap record is not going to stand anyway, because Keaton Leatherland is going to go home with a lap record. It's a 48.109. However, a 48.109 ain't a 47.2 at the end of the day. And bear in mind, that was his first flying lap, wasn't it, as well? So there might have been a magic 46 in there somewhere.
Yeah, 1 minute 47.204, Keith. I'm just having a look. That would have put him 11th on the MRO Supersport grid.
Yeah, it ain't shabby at all, is it?
Definitely not. No, I can see that. Well, Fraser Lysachenko will know that his rival is retired from the race. He reins it back a little bit with a 1 minute 48.490, but say reining it back, that is still quicker than the previous lap record.
Yeah,
so
it
it's
is.
all relative, really.
I'm amazed with seeing lap records. Well,
Yes.
I have to say they're old lap records now, but you know, we talk about old lap records. The one at Brands Hatch has stood for over 25 years now, so you know, the lap records are there for the taking. Somebody's just got to reach out and grab them. I'm just so sad for Keaton Leatherland there, because that was genuinely impressive stuff. It really was. Oh well, so that's pretty much game over as far as this race goes, because I think Fraser will, if he's had a look over his shoulder at any point, he'll see that there's absolutely nobody there. He would have seen, obviously he's seen the other results, and he knows that the only real opposition to him this weekend would have been Keaton, and he knows that Keaton's out because it would have gone off in front of him, unfortunately. So Fraser Lysachenko, we can go back to Taunton with another gold medal on his dashboard by the sound of it.
We've got a 10-second jump start penalty being applied for one of our rookie 600 riders, and it's the number 88 of Albert Hall.
That is 88, yeah.
So Albert Hall, a 10-second jump start penalty. That drops him down to 5th position in class and overall, when he is in fact running now 2nd on the circuit. So 2nd on the circuit, but 5th on the time screen.
Luca Wilkinson continues to lead in the 4-stroke category of the Open 500s. He's ahead of Sean Crone and Archie Ormrod. We'll wait for him to collect up. Mr. Smith doesn't seem to have his confidence too dented. He leads the way in the 2-stroke category, and he is ahead of Damien Lee on his familiar TZR. So becoming a bit of a TZR. Now that says Smith's on a TZ, it says here, actually, mate. Is that correct? I'll have to look at the bike when it comes past me as well. I'll probably get a better look at that than you. It's going to be... just go, mate.
Got a rider down at Druids, unfortunately,
okay.
Keith. Can't quite see who that is, but I'll try and pick up who may not come around this time. So red flags have gone out, Keith, so we do have a red flag. We have the green flag at the back. 3 laps for the rookie 600s and the open 500s. It's well, there's not going to be any time to think about anything, really, is there? Red lights are on. Out they go, and again, Keaton Leatherland and Fraser Lysachenko on the way in towards Old Hall Corner. Fraser does almost had the inside line, but it's Keaton who takes the whole shot round Old Hall Corner and on the run now down the avenue in towards Denton's.
Well, down they come, be down towards me in just a moment, and he's done it once again, mate. Leatherland is flying. He's got about 3 or 4 tenths of a second, and then behind Lysachenko, it's about another second before the 600s start to make an appearance as well. Right, sounds like we're ready to go with the second half there. They're underway, mate.
They're through Old Hall Corner now. Luca Wilkinson, Archie Ormrod, Jake Donkersley, and Sean Crone is the top 5. I think that was Hayden Smith, who was first of the 2 strokes in 5th position, as the rookie 600 riders make the way round.
Oh, sorry, mate. Somebody has done the full Jesus Loves You over the top and face plant. Not quite sure who that is. I'm just looking to see if the rider's going to get up. Yeah, the rider is up. Not quite sure. There was somebody in the first sort of 3 or 4. It was a very green bike, and it's now a very dusty rider who has absolutely splattered himself across the scenery. Obviously, the marshals quickly on the scene there. Yellow flags fluttering, but it's going to be a while before anybody reaches us, because the 600s, or 600, I should say, of the Leatherland is just coming out of Knickerbrook. Lysachenko chasing hard, using more of the road in fine style, but unfortunately, he needs to find a little bit more pace if he's going to match the antics of Leatherland. But the rider, absolutely fine. You'll have to see which one of the 400s is missing. Again, I don't want to confirm anything. I've got my suspicions, but until I actually see it in the flesh, I'm not going to worry about it. What I can tell you is it's most definitely not Luca Wilkinson or Sean Crone, because they've just come flying past me in fine style, cranking hard over, and away they go as the Van of Shame is already in position to pick the stricken machine up. So the leader's up with you, mate?
Well, they're leading 2, yeah. They've gone through in towards Old Hall Corner. Keaton Leatherland has a 1.1 second advantage over Fraser Lysachenko. 1 minute 52.3 as an opening lap time for Lyndon Leatherland. That's Keaton Leatherland, not Lyndon Leatherland.
I know, it's easily done though, isn't it?
Yeah, knew it'd catch me out.
Yeah, you and me both, mate.
So that's Fraser Lysachenko. Albert Hall makes up three positions. Andrew Morris drops one, number 27. Stephen Roberts drops a position as well. He's in 5th place. Luca Wilkinson is across the line, leading the way in the Open 400s. Luca Wilkinson, Archie Ormrod and Sean Crone. Looks as though Jake Donkersley, and I'm sure that's proving your suspicions correct.
Yeah, it is indeed, I'm afraid, on the Kawasaki there. He is dropping down the field. I did expect to see that name. I just wanted a confirmation because I'm not 100% sure at this distance as to exactly who it is. But that's a great shame for Jake.
Well, he'll have another bite of the cherry in the 600s because he's out there in the MRO 600s as well, isn't he?
Yep, no, he's up, he's running, he's walking, he's all good. Hopefully he's got a spare canister for his leathers. And away he goes once again as Leatherland now makes his way into Hissies. And he is doing it well. Somebody overtaking under a yellow, I think I heard there. So they might be seeing a penalty very shortly. Albert Hall there is in 4th place. I think Morris has found his way past on him. So there's a good little scrap there for the minor medal in the 600s as well.
Purple in sector number 1 for Keaton Leatherland. 0.3 of a second quicker than Fraser Lysachenko as well. So Fraser doing his best to try and keep his fingernails dug into the rear tyre of Keaton Leatherland, but he's already in towards Lodge Corner. So, well, this will be the start of the last lap, wasn't it?
Yes, of course. Yeah, it doesn't take very long at all, does it? I was just, yeah, you're right. Oh, I tell you, Luca Wilkins has had a bad lap. He's down to 3rd place, actually, mate. I think that was both Crone and Ormrod have gone past him there. So Luca Wilkinson is going to get the hurry-up flag very shortly indeed.
I'll keep an eye on it as the rest of the runners and riders in the Rookie 600s make their way past. That's the 999 of Jack Allen. A 10-second jump start penalty for the number 17 of Andrew Morris, so that drops into 6th on corrected time.
New lap record if he can keep it together.
Yes.
maybe I shouldn't say that actually because it didn't work out so well. But yeah, he has done a 47, a mid 47. This time 47.6. So that is really going to set that sucker in concrete as long as he can negotiate the rest of the circuit.
Open 500s are past me now. Keith leading 3, and as you said, there's Sean Crone, Archie Ormrod, and Luca Wilkinson coming past me now. They're into the thick of things with one of the tail enders in the Rookie 600. So Sean Crone, Archie Ormrod and Luca Wilkinson. Of course, whoever has the quickest lap time from this weekend will be the new lap record holder for this class.
They certainly will. It's Morris with the 10-second penalty, so that's going to kick him off the podium, I'm afraid.
Yellow flag infringement, Keith.
Yeah, that's what I heard, yep. There we go. Well, one of the rookies going, it's Albert Hall, unfortunately for him, so he's going to lose a little bit of time. That might kick him off the podium. This could be good news for Roberts on the 27 machine. He might well be the one moving up into 3rd place very shortly indeed. Wait and see, he's come past with Morris in tow as well, but as we know, Morris is going to drop back down the order.
Purple in sector number 1 for Keaton Leatherland. I think he's coming towards us any moment now. And here he is, checkered flag will go out. And it's Keaton Leatherland, 1 minute 47.025.
Wow. I'm sorry, that's pretty much a 46 in real terms, isn't it? Wow. So he has successfully taken one, can't believe this because we've seen nobody get close. But we've just seen him take, in round terms, 1.9 seconds off the lap record.
Well, credit where it's due as well. Fraser Lysachenko, 1 minute 47.038. So he was only 0.013 away from the lap record.
Well, the lap record was there for the taking all along. I don't know where Fraser suddenly found that last little bit of speed, but
he found 0.3 in that second sector.
Wow, that's huge.
So if you put together the lap times, sector times from Leatherland and
Lysachenko, the 146.
That's a 1 minute 46.7.
Yeah, absolutely. That's true team spirit there, right there, isn't it?
Green flag is up, and we are away racing for the Rookie 600s. Keaton Leatherland from pole position. He's the man who will lead them ahead of Fraser Lysachenko, and it really has been about those two guys for the wins this weekend, hasn't it?
Nobody else has had a look even close.
No, I mean, the lap record has been broken this weekend as the red lights are on for the Open 500s. Out they go. And Luca Wilkinson and Sean Crone, they are the young men to beat in this class, but it's going to be Luca Wilkinson who leads them into Old Hall there ahead of Archie Ormrod. Jake Donkersley just about squeezing his way through into 3rd place ahead of Sean Crone. but everybody through safely. I can see that that's Damien Lee, light blue bike with the yellow wheels, number 261 Damien Lee in the mid-pack for the Open 500s. But as they left me, Keith, it was Keaton Leatherland who led the way in the rookie 600s ahead of Fraser Lysachenko. They're just heading in towards Britain's chicane now, and that still seems to be the order. It's the black and red number 221 Yamaha R6 of Leatherland ahead of the number 36 Yamaha R6 of Fraser Lysachenko.
At this stage, I'd say well ahead, actually. He's already got a very decent gap there. It's going to be around about a second or so, certainly very close to it, as Leatherland lines himself up for the Knickerbrook, and I'm watching him out of the corner there. Yeah, no, Leatherland, I think, has got unfinished business, should we say. Now, he knows there's a 47 out there somewhere. I don't know if there still is, given the conditions have definitely closed in a little bit since the earlier race. However, it looks if anybody can do it, I think he might be able to. Albert Hall running in third place, so it's another good, strong performance from him. And this time it is Luca Wilkinson who leads Sean Crone, but we all know that could change before races end, don't we, Bradley?
Yeah, it certainly can do, but the lead that Keaton Leatherland has over Fraser Lysachenko at the end of lap number 1, it's opened up to 1.378 seconds over Fraser Lysachenko. Just having a look to see, got a few riders going down the order, but whether they were at the start there, I don't believe they were. Number 62 just coming through, that is the number 62 of Hargreaves. So that's James Hargreaves. He started 10th on the grid. He's made up 2 positions, made that 1 position because the number 27 and 88 bikes seem to have a bit of an iffy transponder. So 88 is Albert Hall. Open 500s are into the thick of things with some of the slower 600s now. Luca Wilkinson leads that one ahead of Sean Crone, Archie Ormerod and Jake Donkersley. First of the 2 strokes is Damien Lee ahead of Hayden Smith. So it's good to see Hayden Smith out there on the circuit because I think he had a closer look at the scene. He
decided to pay a bit of a visit to the girls and boys down here at Cascades earlier. Fortunately, without too much injury to himself. I think he was more just annoyed with himself as Leatherland continues to lead. He's probably doubled that gap since last time, maybe not quite doubled it, but he's certainly put another few tenths into him and Lysachenko, and he's showing the rapid man from Taunton what a clean pair of Pirellis looks like, because he is absolutely flying. Albert Hall continues to hold on to third place. Again, we don't know what the plans are for everybody. As Aidan was saying, it's consistency over a season. Well, we had a quick chat with Lysachenko yesterday, and apparently he's not allowed to race for 10 weeks before his marriage. So basically after May, he won't be competing anymore, though you do wonder, you'll be looking at a championship thinking, you know, you've got one chance to grab a rookie championship at the end of the day, and also set some rookie lap records along the way. So you've got to think, if you're going to go for it big, I reckon. You know, you can get married any time, can't you, Bradley?
You said that, not me. So across the line, here you go, Keith. So earlier on we saw that Keaton Leatherland did a 1 minute 47.9, and he said there may be a 47 today. How about a 1 minute 47.2?
Whoa! Please finish the race, please, Mr. Leatherland, because obviously he did a 47.9, and so he's just taken another 7/10 of a second off of his previous best. And to put that in perspective, the previous rookie 600 lap records was Tom Newman's, and that was set 9 years ago, a 48.848. So he's just taken a second and a half off the lap record. That is remarkable stuff. No wonder Lysachenko's struggling to stay with him. There's absolutely no doubt about who is the quickest man around Cadwell Park in the rookie 600s. That is a remarkable effort. Is that him cresting the hill now? That can't be sure.
Oh, it looks like we've got a retirement at Britain's.
Oh no, I don't believe it. Lysachenko's coming past me, mate. I think it's Leatherland again.
That is very...
I don't believe it. That's gutting. Sets a 47.2, unfortunately.
I can see he's just pushing the bike off to the side now.
Oh no, that's a great shame for Linton Leatherland, because again, as I say, you've only got one chance, and certainly with our club, you might be able to come with another club and break their rookie lap record at some point, and it'd be great to see that. But unfortunately, the Tom Newman's lap record is not going to stand anyway, because Keaton Leatherland is going to go home with a lap record. It's a 48.109. However, a 48.109 ain't a 47.2 at the end of the day. And bear in mind that was his first flying lap, wasn't it, as well? So there might have been a magic 46 in there somewhere.
Yeah, 1 minute 47.204, Keith. I'm just having a look. That would have put him 11th on the MRO Supersport grid.
Yeah, it ain't shabby at all, is it?
Definitely not. No, I can see that. Well, Fraser Lysichenko will know that his rival is retired from the race. He reins it back a little bit with a 1 minute 48.490, but say reining back, that is still quicker than the previous lap record.
Yeah,
so
it
it's
is.
all relative, really.
I'm amazed we're seeing lap records. Well,
Yes.
I have to say they're old lap records now, but you know, we talk about old lap records. The one of Brands Hatch has stood for over 25 years now, so you know, the lap records are there for the taking. Somebody's just got to reach out and grab them. I'm just so sad for Keaton Leatherland there, because that was genuinely impressive stuff. It really was. Oh well, so that's pretty much game over as far as this race goes, because I think Fraser will, if he's had a look over his shoulder at any point, he'll see that there's absolutely nobody there. He would have seen, obviously he's seen the other results, and he knows that the only real opposition to him this weekend would have been Keaton, and he knows that Keaton's out because it would have gone off in front of him, unfortunately. So Fraser Lysichenko can go back to Taunton with another gold medal on his dashboard by the sound of it.
We've got a 10-second jump start penalty being applied for one of our rookie 600 riders, and it's the number 88 of Albert Hall.
That is 88, yeah.
So Albert Hall, a 10-second jump start penalty. That dropped him down to 5th position in class and overall, when he is in fact running now 2nd on the circuit. So 2nd on the circuit, but 5th on the time screen.
Luca Wilkinson continues to lead in the 4-stroke category of the Open 500s. He's ahead of Sean Crone and Archie Ormrod. We'll wait for them to collect up. Mr. Smith doesn't seem to have his confidence too dented. He leads the way in the 2-stroke category, and he is ahead of Damien Lee on his familiar TZR. So coming a bit of a TZR. Now that says Smith's on a TZ, it says here actually, mate. Is that correct? I'll have to look at the bike when it comes past me as well. I'll probably get a better look at that than you. It's going to be, just go, mate.
Got a rider down at Druids, unfortunately.
Okay.
Keith. Can't quite see who that is, but I'll try and pick up who may not come around this time. So red flags have gone out, Keith, so we do have a red flag. 64 would be Ian Davis.
Yeah, I think it is Ian Davis actually. Yep, I see why people go on about the numbers being hard to read. But yeah, that's Ian Davis, unfortunately. He's sliding off into the scenery. So his next trip will be in the van of shame, unfortunately for him.
Round Old Hall Corner and on the run now down the avenue in towards Denton's.
Well, down they come, be down towards me in just a moment, and he's done it once again, mate. Leatherland is flying. He's got about 3 or 4 tenths of a second, and then behind Lysichenko it's about another second before the 600 start to make an appearance as well. Right, sounds like we're ready to go with the second half there. They're underway, mate.
Through Old Hall Corner now, Luca Wilkinson, Archie Ormrod, Jake Gonkersley and Sean Crone is the top 5. I think that was Hayden Smith who was first of the 2 strokes in 5th position as the rookie 600 riders make the way round.
Oh, sorry mate, somebody has done the full Jesus Loves You over the top and face plant. Not quite sure who that is. I'm just looking to see if the rider is going to get up. Yeah, the rider is up. Not quite sure. There was somebody in the first sort of 3 or 4. It was a very green bike, and it's now a very dusty rider who has absolutely splattered himself across the scenery. Obviously, the marshals quickly on the scene there. Yellow flags fluttering, but it's going to be a while before anybody reaches us because the 600, I should say, of Leatherland is just coming out of Knickerbrook. Lysichenko chasing hard, using more of the road in fine style, but unfortunately, he needs to find a little bit more pace if he's going to match the antics of Leatherland. But the rider, absolutely fine. You'll have to see which one of the 400s is missing. Again, I don't want to confirm anything. I've got my suspicions, but until I actually see it in the flesh, I'm not going to worry about it. What I can tell you is it's most definitely not Luca Wilkinson or Sean Crone, because they've just come flying past me in fine style, cranking hard over, and away they go as the van of shame is already in position to pick the stricken machine up. So the leader's up with you, mate?
Well, the leading 2, yeah, they've gone through in towards Old Hall Corner. Keaton Leatherland has a 1.1 second advantage over Fraser Lysichenko. 1 minute 52.3 as an opening lap time for Lyndon That's Keaton Leatherland, not Lyndon Leatherland.
I know, it's easily done though, isn't
yeah,
it?
knew it caught catch me out.
Yeah, you and me both, mate.
So that's Fraser Lysychenko. Albert Hall makes up for your 3 positions. Andrew Morris drops 1, number 27. Stephen Roberts drops a position as well. He's in 5th place. Luca Wilkinson is across the line, leading the way in the Open 400s. Luca Wilkinson, Archie Ormrod and Sean Crone. Looks as though Jake Donkersley, and I'm sure that's proving your suspicions correct.
Yeah, it is indeed. I'm afraid on the Kawasaki there. He is dropping down the field. I did expect to see that name. I just wanted a confirmation because I'm not 100% sure at this distance as to exactly who it is. But that's a great shame for Jake.
Well, he'll have another bite of the cherry in the 600s because he's out there in the MRO 600s as well, isn't he?
Yeah, no, he's up, he's running, he's walking, he's all good. Hopefully he's got a spare canister for his leathers. And away he goes once again as Leatherland now makes his way into Hissies. And he is doing it well. Somebody overtaken under a yellow, I think I heard there. So they might be seeing a penalty very shortly. Albert Hall there is in 4th place. I think Morris has found his way past on him, so there's a good little scrap there for the minor medal in the 600s as well.
Purple in sector number 1 for Keaton Leatherland. 0.3 of a second quicker than Fraser Lysychenko as well. So Fraser doing his best to try and keep his fingernails dug into the rear tyre of Keaton Leatherland, but he's already in towards Lodge Corner. So, well, this will be the start of the last lap, wasn't it?
Yes, of course. Yeah, it doesn't take very long at all, does it? I was just, yeah, you're right. Oh, I tell you what, Luca Wilkins has had a bad lap. He's down to 3rd place, actually, mate. I think that was both Crone and Ormrod have gone past him there. So Luca Wilkinson is going to get the hurry-up flag very shortly indeed.
I'll keep an eye on it as the rest of the runners and riders in the rookie 600s make their way past. That's the 999 of Jack Allen. 10-second jump start penalty for the number 17 of Andrew Morris, so that drops into 6th on correct time.
New lap record if he can keep it together.
Yes.
maybe I shouldn't say that actually because it didn't work out so well. But yeah, he has done a 47, a mid 47. It's on 47.6. So that is really going to set that sucker in concrete as long as he can negotiate the rest of the circuit.
Open 500s are past me now. Keith leading 3, and as you said, there's Sean Crone, Archie Ormrod, and Luca Wilkinson coming past me now. They're into the thick of things with one of the tail enders in the rookie 600. So Sean Crone, Archie Ormrod, and Luca Wilkinson. Of course, whoever has the quickest lap time from this weekend will be the new lap record holder for this class.
Certainly will. It's Morris with the 10-second penalty, so that's going to kick him off the podium, I'm afraid.
Yellow flag infringement, Keith.
Yeah,
that's what that was.
Yep. There we go. Well, one of the rookies going, so, oh no, it's Albert Hall, unfortunately for him, so he's going to lose a little bit of time. That might kick him off the podium. This could be good news for Roberts on the 27 machine. He might well be the one moving up into 3rd place very shortly indeed. Well, you can see he's come past with Morris in tow as well, but as we know, Morris is going to drop back down the order.
Purple in sector number 1 for Keaton Leatherland. I think he's coming towards us any moment now. And here he is, checkered flag will go out. And it's Keaton Leatherland, 1 minute 47.025.
Wow. I'm sorry, that's pretty much a 46 in real terms, isn't it? Wow. So he has successfully taken one, can't believe this because we've seen nobody get close. But we've just seen him take in round terms 1.9 seconds off the lap record.
Well, credit where it's due as well. Fraser Lysychenko, 1 minute 47.038. So he was only 0.013 away from the lap record.
Well, the lap record was there for the taking all along. I don't know where Fraser suddenly found that last little bit of speed. But
he found 3/10 in that second sector.
Wow, that's huge.
So if you put together the lap times, sector times from Leatherland and
Lysychenko, 146.
That's a 1 minute 46.7.
Yeah, absolutely. So there we go. The potential is most definitely there for a slightly faster time. Just goes to show what you can achieve when you're chasing hard after somebody else, doesn't it? It really keeps you on your toes.
Certainly does. So the lap times there of Keaton Leatherland and Fraser Lysychenko, that would have put them 11th on the MRO Supersport 600 grid.
Wow. Yeah, that's food for thought for the 600s, isn't it? Because they're certainly not hanging around this weekend either.
Looks like we're one rider waiting on them to come across the line, number 119. That's Leighton Thomas. Hasn't yet come across the line, showing us dropping at 14 positions. And
it's very impressive, the work you're doing in the background there. And then Tuesday you'll no doubt be with your mentor at Sports Bike Shop making a nice new video for the company as well, won't you?
Yep, whatever he tells me to do, will be done. Hopefully.
So, well, here we go.
Green flag at the back for the Minitwins and rookie Minitwins. Out go the lights, and for the final time, the Minitwins are underway. Ronnie Harris and Bill Harris. That's 1 and 2 as they go into Old Hall Corner. Steve Costin is in 3rd place. Everybody through safely, watching them as they go. The Harris brothers out in front. Steve Costin, Will Howarth. Can't quite see who that was there in 5th place, Keith. Looked like Kev Lilly was challenging for 6th, but it's the Harris brothers 1 and 2.
Trying to see if I can see it. Might be, I think it is Kevin 6 there. Well, we get confirmation. Yeah, you're certainly right. The Harris brothers off to another good fight. I doubt there's any sort of team tactics there. I can promise you, I don't think that Bill is going to be riding shotgun for his brother for protective purposes, shall we say. I think he's probably out for everything he can get, and you can't blame him for that in any way, shape or form, because at the end of the day, you're racing for yourself. It's it's not like a team where he's got some sort of professional obligation, shall we say, to behave or whatever else he needs to do. I think he's definitely going for it in his own fine style. So look forward to them coming over the top in just a moment. And here they come into the chicane, and look at Ronnie go. He's got fine style, flicking to the left, body position absolutely beautiful, left and right. This time it is Bill in 2nd, Howard looking racy in 4th place there. Then it is Costin. I didn't quite get a look at the side of the next bike along. Not sure if it was Ducran or not though, because poor old Mitch has had a couple of issues, of course, hasn't he?
Certainly has. And I suspect it could may even be different bodywork for Mitch Ducran.
Maybe that's what it is, of course. Yes.
There's a bit of gravel rash on the pink and black bits earlier on as they come around lodged down.
Nobody needs gravel rash on their pink and black bits, mate.
No, definitely not. Around to complete lap number 1 of 7, and it's Ronnie Harris with quite a big margin over his brother Bill Harris, but Will Howarth is challenging into Old Hall. It's Bill Harris who holds on to 2nd place, but Will 3rd at the end of lap number 1. Steve Costin is through in 4th place, and it's James Nage who's up to 5th place there, Keith.
Wow.
To James Nage, he started 5th, he holds on to that 5th position, ahead of Jack Betters, Jack Noble, first of the rookie Minitwins, Kev Lilly, then it's Brandon Wibley ahead of Rob Bryan, Brian Mayer in 11th place, Dan Sales and James Eggington up next, number 52 machine of Eggington. Looking for the 66. Doesn't look as though Mitch Ducran is out there, unfortunately.
Okay, that's a bit of a shame, because I was hoping to see Mitch do well. He's been getting better and better all weekend, in fairness to Mitch, but obviously things aren't going quite Mitch's way at this stage. Well, they're certainly going Ronnie Harris's way, mate. The guy is absolutely on fire this weekend. He's looking to make it a perfect weekend. Doesn't get much better than 4 from 4, especially the way he won that race yesterday. That was genuinely spectacular, and I think he's going to be unchallenged, unlike his brother Bill, who has got his hands full with Will Howarth trying to find his way past. These two have opened up a bit of a gap now to Steve Costin. Howarth looking left, looking right, trying desperately to find his way past. Next across the line, it is the 112 machine. That is James Nars. That's the best result we've seen from James for a while. I thought he'd lost his mojo there for a while, but he's doing a really good job ahead of Jack Pettis. And then Mr. Noble, the leading rookie, Greg Noble, he's been very impressive. Jack Noble, sorry, he's been very impressive indeed, hasn't he, mate?
Yeah, he certainly has. He's 7th at the moment in front of Kev Lilly, and we know how good Kev Lilly is on an SV650.
Yeah.
But Ronnie Harris, he is proving to be the man to beat. He's went purple in sector number 2 by 0.7 of a second, as again side by side across the line. Will Howarth up the inside this time, and he gets it done. Will Howarth moves up to 2nd position on the number 96 Black Suzuki, but Bill Harris, he doesn't want that 3rd place. Tries to get the run on Will Howarth, but Will's got the line and holds on to 2nd.
Down the Heck Hill they come then into Cascades, and yeah, it's an advantage by 2, 3, 4. He gets better drive, actually. Fair play to Will. I think he might have just about broken the toe. Maybe another bike length would have done it, but I don't think Bill's going to be able to put himself into a position to be able to challenge. I tell you what the shame is, mate. It's a real shame that Ronnie's not out there with Dave Twyford and Del Dowds. You can imagine the races the three of them had. And I'll tell you what, the other thing I'm going to report, mate, I've got a couple of tiny drops appearing on my windows here. Nothing to worry about at the moment. And my hardy spectators, and nobody's reaching for the brollies at the moment, but I don't think they're a hangover from yesterday somehow. So I hate to say, I think Storm Dave might be getting its revenge. Let's hope we can get through these races safely. Ronnie Harris then down into Hislops. He's getting chased hard by Will Howard. Now what I want you to do here, mate, is have a look at Howard's time and compare it with Will's. I know there was a gap of over 2 seconds when they came across the line there, but we're going to get an update on the sector times very shortly. I think it's going to be still a good 2 seconds advantage to Ronnie Harris, but I think Howard is desperate to try and claw one back on what is going to be his championship rival, I think.
Yeah, I think looking at it, it's about 2.3 seconds as it went up into sector number 2. I'll try and pick him up as there.
Yeah, you're right, mate.
In towards Lodge, that's where your race leader, number 660, Ronnie Harris is at the moment. Next up, that is Will Howard from Bill Harris. So it's Harris 1 and 3 with Will in the middle. And Bill not quite close enough to challenge Will Howard into Old Hall Corner this time around, but it's a 1 minute 49.053 for Ronnie Harris, your race leader. He extends his advantage to 2.7 seconds over Will Howard. Bill Harris up next, Steve Costin. Jack Bettis and James Nige having a good ride. James Nige got a 5th place earlier on today, so he's looking good.
Okay, I didn't realise that one. Sorry, mate, I don't have the screen all day.
Had an interesting weekend, I think. He was a DNF in race number 1, but he came back with a 6th position in class and a 5th position earlier on in the weekend, and that was in race number 2 and 3. So at the moment he's in 6th ahead of the first of the rookies, Jack Noble, by 2.7 seconds. Kev Lilly 0.3 of a second behind, but they are 4 seconds up the road from Brian Mayer, who half a second behind him is a second of the rookie Minitwins. That's number 606, Rob Bryan, as we have one of our rookie riders just running off the circuit at Druids, Keith. So I'll try and...
hopefully they've kept it up right. We've seen an awful lot of action at Druids that we really don't need any more of it, do we?
I can see just how deep the gravel is there as well. It's almost at the swing arm.
Right, I tell you what, Bill Harris is not giving up on this one. I did wonder once Will was past whether he'd be able to close on the Ronnie Harris in front of him, but I have to say Ronnie knows what he's got to do. He's got the opportunity to make a break, and he is absolutely flying there as Howard and Bill Harris go over the top there. They both do PBs, but their PBs are a little bit slower than what Ronnie Harris has done, or do pretty much the same time. So Howard is definitely not closing down on Ronnie Harris by any stretch of the imagination. He's riding hard. It's going to have to be a hard ride to hold on to that 2nd place. Steve Costin, a little way back now. Unfortunately, Steve not able to keep up the pace there. Jack Bettis is having a relatively good race there in 5th place, but he's got James Nige very close company. And I think that could be the main battle we could be talking about, apart from the Harris and Howard battle very shortly, because I think Bettis and Nige are going to come over the track, and they won't be separated by too much either, are they, Bradley?
And no, just watching them now, James Nige and Jack Bettis across the line. It's 0.9 of a second, in fact. So James Nige did find a way through, and Jack Bettis, as you said there, 0.901 is the gap between those two riders. It was the 998 machine of Tony Hood who ran on at Druids, but he is back on the circuit now. So Tony Hood, he lost about 40 seconds. Did Tony Hood. But the gap at the front, 3.2 seconds. But then the gap between, let's have a look, Will Howard and Bill Harris, less than a quarter of a second.
Okay, watching them around the circuit now, some good battles all the way around. A lot of chatter on the radio. I'm not quite sure if it's race related though, so we'll just keep an eye on things and make sure everybody's tripping the timing beams where they should be. What I do know is that Ronnie Harris is coming over the top there, and he is braking hard. I tell you what, Bill and William are having a good battle. I thought the position had changed, and this confirms it as they're visually in front of me now, and that is Bill Harris, who has now got the advantage over Will Howard once again. So doing a solid for his brother by removing 4 points from Mr. Howard's overall tally if he can keep staying in that place till the end of the race. I think Steve Costin might come under some serious pressure here as well, because it looks like James Nige is very close indeed, and just behind James we still got Jack Bettis as well. We've got a back marker coming into play up there, which they'll probably get around about the time they get to you guys as well. Kev Lilly a little bit further back, and he has got the impressive rookie there of Jack Noble behind him, with Rob Bryant and Brandon Wibley. next up as far as the rookies go. We've got Brian Mayer in the mix between those rookies, which is good news for some of the rookies. So yeah, you can see Bill Harris over the line there, mate. He's definitely doing his brother a favour, isn't he? His brother has got a little bit quicker at 49 though. We haven't quite cracked the magic 48 bracket, but we are very close to it. It's a mid 48 we're looking for the lap record here.
Here's the battle between Steve Costin, James Knight and Jack Bettis is on them as well now, so I'm not sure if Steve Costin has had an issue because he's done a 1 minute 56 on that previous lap. His best of the race so far is 3.4 seconds quicker. That's a 1 minute 52.6 for Steve Costin. So he's lost time in the first split there, Keith, Steve Costin, and that's brought him back into the clutches of James Nage and Jack Bettis. Kev Lilly is across the line, 0.3 of a second up the road from Jack Noble. Rob Bryan is through on Brian Mayer, and Brandon Wibley is not too far behind either as they make their way down the avenue in towards Denton's and Cascades. A few changes of position further down the order. Jack Wolf is in front of Martin Siggins now on the circuit. Merlin Lindsay has found his way through on the number 164 of Adam Fernley, and that is for the minor placings. Looks like the number 85 of Richard Turnbull has returned back to the pits, unfortunately. But yeah, that 5 second advantage for Ronnie Harris over Bill, and then the gap between Bill and Will Howarth, 0.09.
Oh, well, Howarth has now got the advantage once again. Those guys are attacking a back marker as well, so the back markers may well have a role to play in this race. They're going to be coming around to get the last lap now, if my calculations are right.
That's
so
right.
We're running out of time, and I think it's going to be Ronnie Harris who's going to lead the way once again for this battle between Bill and Will. The Billy Willie battle is going to be very close indeed. Some other good little battles going on down through the field. Some minor mini-twin, rookie mini-twin battles going on. Everybody enjoying themselves, but obviously we're concentrating on the overall lead here. And,
so across the line, Will Howard led by 9 thousandths, but Bill Harris up the inside, and it is Bill Harris who's retaken that second place. Will Howard is right there with him though, Keith, down the avenue in towards Cascades, and Ronnie Harris a 1 minute 49.003. So very, very close to a sub 149 there as Jack Bettis goes up the inside. I think that was James Nage, it was. So Jack Bettis up the inside of James Nage, but James trying to get the run there side by side down Denton's into Cascades, and I think James Nage may have just got it back.
Well, looks like Harris is going to get slipstreamed, I think, by Howarth. Not 100% sure. Certainly, Ronnie Harris out in front is disappearing faster than Scott Mills's career in fine style, unlike Scott's career. He's going to be coming over the hill down towards me very shortly indeed with a massive lead. Hopefully he's finished passing the back markers. There is one more. I don't think he's going to get him before maybe he will actually. But here comes the main battle I'm interested in. It is Harris who leads Howarth once again into Hizzy's chicane. Now Will's going to realistically have one last chance, maybe at Lodge, to punch his way past. He knows how to go people out up here, how you can pass at Lodge or get the drive coming off of Lodge there over the line, because his brother did that to Will yesterday. Watching the battle behind as well, it is still Costin ahead of Nage, and again they've got a back marker just ahead of them now. Only one more to go. Let's see if that has any role to play. It looks like Costin's going to go wide up the inside of the back marker. Back marker's good in a straight line, but then back markers so often are. They're going to catch him up around about Druids as well. So again, that one won't be quite settled. But I can see that Ronnie Harris has taken the win now with another 49 second out. And it is Bill Harris who holds off the attentions of Will Howarth, who actually goes fastest in the second sector there, but unfortunately not quite enough to find his way past, and he misses out on the second place by 0.049 of a second. Been some good close racing there, hasn't there, Bradley?
It certainly is, and another one coming across the line now. That's Steve Costin and James Nage, and it's Costin by 4/100ths of a second. Jack Bettis 2.2 seconds down the road from Costin and Nage on that final lap. Kev Lilly through on the first of the rookie mini-twins. That's 4 rookie mini-twin victories for Jack Noble, bike number 24. Rob Bryan, second of the rookie mini-twins ahead of Brian Mayer, and Brandon Wibley, another third place for him. Dan Sales, James Eggington, Ben King. Next up should be the number 79. That will be the rookie mini-twin rider of Jack Wolf, as he comes across the line now on that white and red SV650. There is Tony Hood on bike 998. Martin Siggins across the line. He will claim 4 points for his 12th position, as Merlin Lindsay comes across the line. 13th for him. Adam Fernley, number 164, he will claim the 2 points. 119, that is Simon Healy. That is for the final point in the MRO Minitwins. Next up, 36, row number 3, with 124 Harley Baker and number 90 Harry Barrow. Mike Brunston, Leo Soliu, George Cowie, Danny Lees, Jamie King, Ewan Bainborough, Lucas Eggington and Will Round. That's your 6 rows. MZs, Andy Wales, Caleb Wright, John Ashmead, James McCormack, Graeme Lewis, Oliver Boyard, Alexander Mann not setting a time, neither has Gordon Ryan or Chris Kent. Out go the lights and the ninjas are underway, and it looks like the lightweight Lucas King who's going to take the running as they go into Old Hall Corner. And I know a few years ago we used to say a lightweight Luca Wilkinson. It's now lightweight Lucas King because there's not a whole lot to him and he leads the way. But Max Hardy challenging Danny Huskinson as he moves up to second place down the avenue.
Yeah, he certainly is, and he's got it, but I think that, I can't quite make it, I think it might be Lucas King who leads the way. It's a bit hard to tell, yeah.
That's how they left me as the
Yeah, no, I think it's Lucas leading. You called Lucas King a lightweight. You do mean that literally, not metaphorically, don't you, Barrett Bradley?
Yes. No, the MZs go down the avenue. Yes,
he's far too young to drink anyway. So
absolutely, yes, he's diminutive. There you
go.
No,
there's not a whole lot to him. Not a whole lot to last year's champion Hudson Cooper either, of course. So
he was here on Friday. Hudson Cooper was, but I think he's over in Donington taking part in the
doing ACU stuff, isn't he?
Yeah, PSB tests. He'll be in the British Moto 4 Championship this year.
Lovely little bike there was down here yesterday. Yeah, on Thursday. Sorry, guys, it gets confusing this, doesn't it? Here they come then down towards me for the first time, and I think I recognise that tall figure who's decided to find his way to the front. That is indeed Mr. Hardy, who leads the way. And bear in mind that Max is just here basically playing, keeping himself race fit. He has come across past me ahead of Lucas King. Danny Hutchinson is there in, I think, 4th place. I'm not sure who that is in 3rd. It might be Alfie Garrett, but I'm not going to confirm that because they've just gone past in a blur. Go on, mate.
Bright pink wheels would be Alfie Garrett.
There's definitely a bit of pink going on there, but Danny Huskinson tends to glare things out a little bit, doesn't he? Here come the MZs then. I can see Alexander Mann in 2nd place, which I imagine means Mr. Wales is indeed leading. Yep, he's done that right on cue as the MZs go blasting past. Not quite sure who that is in 3rd. It might be Caleb Wright or John Ashby. Didn't quite catch the number, unfortunately, because that one doesn't have massive number boards on the side. There we go, and by the time it's cranked over, it's gone. But the leaders, are they with you already, mate?
Pass me into Old Hall Corner now, and it is Max Hardy who leads by 0.099, so we'll call that a 10th of a second. At the end of lap number 1, Lucas King is the man chasing him. Alfie Garrett, Danny Huskinson, Dan Bray, and that's Annabelle McCarthy who is 3rd of the juniors at the end of lap number 1. She's 10th of a second up the road from Chloe Gleason, so it could well be a battle of the girls for the podium.
Could well be, yep. One of the girls will be taking home one of them's up for 2 medals, one of them's up for 4 medals, because the girls finished 2nd and 3rd in the earlier race, so very impressive stuff from the young ladies there. And Chloe yesterday, as we mentioned earlier, was awarded the Vesra Pads prize for the Chairman's Award yesterday, so well done to her. They're very expensive pads, they're very, very good pads, the Japanese made things, but definitely one of the very worthy spot prizes. And she was a very, very happy Chloe, and I imagine her sponsors, i.e. her parents, were probably very happy about getting a super set of pads for free, as Hardy leads them down into Hizzies once again. I tell you, I'm impressed really with Danny Huskinson, mate. He really has picked up his pace actually compared with what he was doing last year. It is still King there in 3rd. I can see on one of the back that's going to be Bray, who is doing a very good job. So it almost seems strange to say that the seniors are beating most of the juniors, which is quite an unusual thing, really. Dan Bray there, the Southampton-based rider, holding on to a steady 4th place overall, but that is 3rd in class for him. And the ladies there, McCarthy and Gleason, come past me as well, still in that order as we speak. And already the MZs are into the slower ninjas as well there, mate, and it's Wright and Wales duffing up one of the slower ninjas there.
A little bit of a change here in the order for the ninjas as well, because there's a little bit of arguing over position. It's Lucas King, Max Hardy, Danny Huskinson, Dan Bray and Alfie Garrett, but Chloe Gleason and Annabelle McCarthy are not too far away.
They've also swapped places too, haven't they?
They have, yes. So Lucas King found a way through on Hardy. Sorry, not sure if you said that already, Keith.
Yeah.
Keaton Leatherland just came up to say hello.
Oh, did he?
Yes, so thank you to Keaton and his mum for suggesting that Keaton comes up here and tells us the relation. He's Lyndon's brother.
There we go. Thank you very much indeed. We genuinely appreciate that, and I think we have to say he's Lyndon Leatherland's rapid brother as well.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And congratulations on the lap record there as well, Lyndon Keaton. That was very impressive indeed. I've done it as well now, so
there you go. That's 1 all. MZs are past me now, and it's Alexander Mann who leads by half a second. They're 2.9 seconds up the road from Caleb Wright. Looks like the number 53 machine of Eggington, said James Eggington, I believe there. Lucas Eggington, my apologies, who is 11th of the juniors at the moment. John Ashmead, 4th of the MZs, ahead of Chris Kent by 0.2 of a second. Good to see Chris Kent back out on the circuit. Of course, he didn't make the start of the race earlier on today, so he is there running in top 5, ahead of Gordon Ryan and the 89 machine of James McCormack.
Okay, Hardy's coming past me, once again being hassled by King. Bray's passed on Huskinson as well. Garrett gets his way through Knickerbrook more successfully than he did last time I saw him through there. So that's all good. Rest of the field making their way through. Lots of elbow dragging going on from the youngsters there as well. And there go the young ladies. I don't think there's any change in them, but yeah, you're definitely right. They're picking up the pace a little bit.
Point sector number 1 for Dan Bray on this lap, Keith. 0.3 of a second quicker than Danny Huskinson, the man in front, as a line of 5 bikes all peel into Lodge Corner at the same time. Looks as though it could well be Hardy. Is that difficult to tell from this distance, but we'll see when they come out from under the bridge, and it is Max Hardy who leads at the end of lap number 3. Lucas King, Dan Bray, Danny Huskinson and Alfie Garrett. That's the order as they come past me, and I'm probably going to put a fiver on the fact that that won't be the order as they come past you, because there goes Annabelle McCarthy up the inside of Chloe Gleeson, so that's a change for 3rd of the juniors.
Well, they're coming down the hill towards me. I can't tell who it's going to be at the moment because they haven't cranked the corner. Oh, blimey, it's side-by-side action all the way around. Alfie Garrett trying to go around 2 bikes on the outside there at Cascades. It's a definite freight train of bikes down there. They have got to be separated by quite literally 0.2 of a second, I reckon, that lot going down the back straight there. There's actually nothing between them. Look who's the fastest man on that lap as well. The man in 3rd place, Dan Bray, all of a sudden has managed to pull the fastest lap out of the bag there. And also interesting to see that Alfie Garrett's found his way into the 2 minute. These guys just getting quicker and quicker. The young ladies had time there in the 201s, no 202s as well, so losing a little bit of time there. So they've probably lost any chance of catching this particular bunch. But these guys are setting absolutely flying pace. Alex Mann has come across the line as well, and he continues to lead Andy Wales, but just by 0.1 of a second or so, which is pretty much a lifetime in MZ racing. Caleb Wright has an advantage over Chris Kent as well. Here they come past me. That is still Hardy. Bray there in 3rd. I think it must be King there still in 2nd as they make their way up the top there. Don't think there's any change in the McCarthy-Gleeson battle either. Little bit further back, we've got, that says Baker and Barrel having a battle with Cowie as well, a little bit further back.
So looking out for the leaders in the MZs, sorry, the Ninjas.
Oh, you look at the Ninjas, I look for the MZs. That sound like a fair swap?
Sounds good to me. Ninjas are coming towards me now, underneath the bridge, out of Deersley, and across the start-finish line. So this is the end of lap number 4. We're over half race distance now, 3 laps to go, and Danny Huskinson goes up the inside of Dan Bray. There is a Danny-sized gap in the middle, and he found it. So Danny Huskinson up to 3rd place, ahead of Dan Bray, and Alfie Garrett watching this all unfold in front of him, chasing hard in 5th place. Behind them then it is Chloe Gleeson in front of Annabelle McCarthy, as he said there. So Chloe now ahead of Annabelle, as Harley Baker, Harry Barrell, George Cowie round out the top 10. Leo Solu, Mike Brunsden is your top 12. There goes the number 171 of Danny Lees. He's now in front of the 76 bike of Jamie King.
Okay, Huskinson passed on Bray there at Cascades with a very sharp move as well. So again, those 5 seem to really bunch up as they go down the Lakeside straight towards Ireland. I don't think we'll see much of a change when they get here. I think it'll still be Hardy leading. Nobody can quite fight. I think Max is very, very strong on the brakes. Keep seeing people pulling out to pass Max and going, nah, I don't think I'll bother with that. It was Alex Mann who led the MZs with Andy Wales there in second as they came past me. Caleb Bright was still in third there as well with a good gap over Chris Kent. Here comes the battle. Owen Hardy's actually got quite a bit of a break here actually, mate, in relative terms. He's probably got 8 bike lengths there, flicking it very nicely. Danny Huskinson, there goes Lucas King, and that is Alfie Garrett behind him because Bray has lost out badly in the shuffle this time round. He's to the back of the field. You said it would probably change by the time it got to me. It certainly has. The only thing that hasn't really changed, of course, is our leader, Max Hardy, doing the business out in front once again.
0.6 of a second was the gap between the top 5 when they came past me. Chloe Gleeson and Annabelle McCarthy for 3rd and 4th of the juniors. That is for 6th and 7th overall. There was 3/4 of a second between Chloe ahead of Annabelle. I'll keep an eye on that one, but because it looks as though Annabelle's closed the gap by 1/10 and a half to start bringing it around about 0.6 of a second or so. So the end of lap number 5, we are now starting the penultimate lap. Max Hardy, that's the biggest advantage we've seen probably all weekend for the leader in the Ninjas. Lucas King, I tell you what, he's got some style around Old Hall Corner as Lucas King. Elbow just hovering above the ground. Danny Huskinson, Dan Bray and Alfie Garrett up next. Then that will be Chloe Gleeson, Annabelle McCarthy, and just behind them, not too far adrift, is Harley Baker. He put in his personal best lap of the race of a 2-minute 1.847, and that means he's 0.3 of a second behind Annabelle McCarthy there, Keith. So they're going through the left-hand direct cascades now onto that lakeside straight. But it is Max Hardy with an advantage. It was the first time, I'm sure, all weekend of over a second.
No, it's mental. You can't believe he's actually managed to pull out that far. That means he's hopefully broken the toe for the guys behind, so maybe he can hold on to that gap and go to what is going to be a relatively easy victory. No change in the MZs when they just came past me. Again, the similar sort of gaps there with definitely the same order as well. Looks like Alexander Mann is on his way to yet another win. Andy Wales, of course, picked up a few more points yesterday. Might be another back marker or two to play with because we've still got 2 laps to go and a slow bike has just come past me. Well, Max doesn't enjoy a gap of a second now. It's down to about 4 or 5 bike lengths. Danny Huskinson is chasing hard after Lucas King, who is behind him. Dan Bray's there. Alfie Garrett must have had a moment because the 27 machine has dropped right off the pace. Then it's the 2 young ladies there. And I don't think there's any change. No, it's Gleeson from McCarthy once again, both trying to gain an advantage over each other. And yeah, nobody's really swapping. They've all negotiated their way past one of the back markers, one of the slower MZs. Looks like the midfielders are going to come up and do something similar very shortly. I notice we've got a fastest first sector time there for Lucas King this time round, mate, so he's not giving up on an overall win at all. I think that gap that Hardy's got...
Tell you what, Keith, the last lap flag's going out now, and it's Lucas King who led the way, and Max Hardy up the inside now, but Lucas King, not an opportunity there to retaliate in Old Hall Corner. But it is going to be Lucas King against Max Hardy. Dan Bray is not too far away. Danny Huskinson is there in 4th place. As he said, not sure what's happened to Alfie Garrett because he was right in the mix in those 5 riders. But looks like he'd lost about 3 seconds in sector number 1 and about 1.2 seconds in sector number 2. But it's Dan Bray who is the quickest man on the circuit of a 1:59.234. But look at the time set by Lucas King, 1 second quicker than your race leader, Max Hardy.
That's pretty impressive stuff, actually. That really is. But actually, the other quickest man on the track there was Dan Bray.
Yep, 59.234 for him.
There's a faster time out there because nobody did a perfect pair of purples. There is a back marker that's coming into play around about Island Bend, so that could be interesting. That could maybe upset the apple cart for somebody there.
Final podium position for the juniors as well, Keith. Less than 0.2 of a second between Chloe Gleeson and Annabelle McCarthy.
Well, we'll wait and see if Chloe can be going home with a full dashboard there. And wait and see as the leaders come back towards me once again. Max Hardy continues to lead. It is a 2 bike length gap though before Lucas King comes through. Dan Bray pushing on hard. He's got Danny Huskinson for very close company. They'll know they're on the last lap. They've seen the hurry up flag. Long behind him for Lucas King. Uses his lightweight to try and power out of the corner and pulls alongside Max Hardy. But Max has the momentum, goes up the hill. They're going to go up to Druids. I wonder if Lucas is going to go for a charge. I'm going to let you keep an eye on them. I don't think there's any change in the ladies there. Watch out Lodge though, mate. Let me know what happens up there.
I think Lucas there, he went wider on the approach in towards Druids, and that'll give him a bit more momentum to slingshot him down the straight. I'll keep my eyes up towards Lodge Corner, and it looks like Max Hardy just about holding on to the advantage here, but can Lucas do anything? Danny Huskinson's gone wide, so Danny Huskinson, who was third across the line last time around, he went a little bit wide, but it's going to be a checkered flag. for Max Hardy as he takes victory ahead of Lucas King. Then it's Dan Bray, Danny Huskinson in 3rd and 4th position, but 0.104 was the gap across the line. Fair play to Lucas King because he was over a second away.
Yeah, he dragged that back very nicely, didn't he?
He was, as Alfie Garrett claimed 2nd of the juniors and 5th place overall. Chloe Gleeson takes 3rd of the juniors, but she was only 0.03 away from a silver medal.
Ooh, impressive stuff, yeah, because Alfie was having some problems towards the end there. We didn't notice that one, to be fair. So, yeah, Chloe was closing him very rapidly indeed. She, it was a 2:06 from Alfie on that last lap, so he lost 4 seconds, which is nearly good news for Chloe. She nearly had a pair of a pair of silvers and a pair of bronzes for the dashboard, but hey, you'll settle for 3 bronzes and a silver any day, won't you?
Certainly will.
Definitely a good weekend of work. Right, waiting for the MZs to join us.
Are underway, and it looks like the lightweight Lucas King who's going to take the running as they go into Old Hall Corner. And I know a few years ago we used to say lightweight Luca Wilkinson. It's now lightweight Lucas King because there's not a whole lot to him and he leads the way. But Max Hardy challenging Danny Huskinson as he moves up to 2nd place down the avenue.
Yeah, he certainly is, and he's got it, but I think that, I can't quite make it, I think it might be Lucas King who leads the way. It's a bit hard to tell, yeah.
That's how they left me as the
Yeah, no, I think it's Lucas leading. You called Lucas King a lightweight. You do mean that literally, not metaphorically, don't you, Barrett Bradley?
Yes. No, the MZs go down the avenue.
Yes, he's far too young to drink anyway, so...
Absolutely, yes, he's diminutive. There you go.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot to him, a whole lot to last year's champion Hudson Cooper either, of course. So
no, he was here on Friday. Hudson Cooper was, but I think he's over in Donington taking part in the
doing the PSP stuff, isn't he?
Yeah, PSP test. He'll be in the British Moto 4 Championship this year.
Lovely little bike there was down here yesterday. Yeah, on Thursday. Sorry, guys, it gets confusing this, doesn't it? Here they come then down towards me for the first time, and I think I recognise that tall figure who's decided to find his way to the front. That is indeed Mr. Hardy, who leads the way. And bear in mind the Mac is just here basically playing, keeping himself race fit. He has come across past me ahead of Lucas King. Danny Hutchinson is there in, I think, 4th place. I'm not sure who that is in 3rd. It might be Alfie Garrett, but I'm not going to confirm that because they've just gone past the blur. Go on, mate.
Bright pink wheels would be Alfie Garrett.
There's definitely a bit of pink going on there, but Danny Huskinson tends to glare things out a little bit, doesn't he? Here come the MZs then. I can see Alexander Mann in 2nd place, which I imagine means Mr. Wales is indeed leading. Yep, he's done that right on cue as the MZs go blasting past. Not quite sure who that is in 3rd. It might be Caleb Wright or John Ashby. Didn't quite catch the number, unfortunately, because that one doesn't have massive number boards on the side. There we go, and by the time it's cranked over, it's gone. But the leaders, are they with you already, mate?
Past me into Old Hall Corner now, and it is Max Hardy who leads by 0.099, so we'll call that a 10th of a second. At the end of lap number 1, Lucas King is the man chasing him. Alfie Garrett, Danny Huskinson, Dan Bray, and it's Annabelle McCarthy who is 3rd of the juniors at the end of lap number 1. She's a 10th of a second up the road from Chloe Gleeson. So it could well be a battle of girls for the podium.
Could well be, yep. One of the girls will be taking home... one of them's up for 2 medals, one of them's up for 4 medals, because the girls finished 2nd and 3rd in the earlier race, so very impressive stuff from the young ladies there. And Chloe yesterday, as we mentioned earlier, was awarded the Vesra Pads prize, but the Chairman's Award yesterday, so well done to her. They're very expensive pads. They're very, very good pads, the Japanese-made things. But definitely one of the very worthy spot prizes, and she was a very, very happy Chloe. And I imagine her sponsors, i.e. her parents, were probably very happy about getting a super set of pads for free. As Hardy leads them down into Hizzies once again. I tell you, I'm impressed really with Danny Huskinson, mate. He really has picked up his pace actually compared with what he was doing last year. It is still King there in 3rd. I can see Ormond at the back. That's going to be Bray, who is doing a very good job. So it almost seems strange to say that the seniors are beating most of the juniors, which is quite an unusual thing really. Dan Bray there, the Southampton-based rider, holding on to a steady 4th place overall, but that is 3rd in class for him. And the ladies there, McCarthy and Gleeson, come past me as well, still in that order as we speak. And already the MZs are into the slower Ninjas as well there, mate. And it's Wright and Whale duffing up one of the slower Ninjas there.
A little bit of a change here in the order for the Ninjas as well, because there's a little bit of arguing over position. It's Lucas King, Max Hardy, Danny Huskinson, Dan Bray and Alfie Garrett, but Chloe Gleeson and Annabelle McCarthy are not too far away.
And they've also swapped places too, haven't they?
They have, yes. So Lucas King found a way through on Hardy. Sorry, I'm not sure if you said that already, Keith. Keaton Leatherland just came up to say hello.
Oh, did he?
Yes, so thank you to Keaton and his mum for suggesting that Keaton comes up here and tells us the relation. He's Lyndon's brother.
There we go. Thank you very much indeed. We genuinely appreciate that. And I think we have to say it's Lyndon Leatherland's rapid brother as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And congratulations on the lap record there as well, Lyndon Keaton. That was very impressive indeed. I've done it as well now, so we're really good.
That's one all. MZs are past me now, and it's Alexander Mann who leads by half a second. They're 2.9 seconds up the road from Caleb Wright. Looks like the number 53 machine of Eggington, said James Eggington, I believe there. Lucas Eggington, my apologies, who is 11th of the juniors at the moment. John Ashmead, 4th of the MZs, ahead of Chris Kent by 0.2 of a second. Good to see Chris Kent back out on the circuit. Of course, he didn't make the start of the race earlier on today, so he is there running in top 5, ahead of Gordon Ryan and the 89 machine of James McCormack.
Okay, Hardy's coming past me, once again being hassled by King. Bray's passed on Huskinson as well. Garrett gets his way through Knickerbrook more successfully than he did last time I saw him through there. So that's all good. Rest of the field making their way through. Lots of elbow dragging going on from the youngsters there as well. And there go the young ladies. I don't think there's any change in them, but yeah, you're definitely right. They're picking up the pace a little bit.
Point sector number 1 for Dan Bray on this lap, Keith. 0.3 of a second quicker than Danny Huskinson, the man in front, as a line of 5 bikes all peel into the lodge corner at the same time. Looks like it could well be Hardy. Is that difficult to tell from this distance, but we'll see when they come out from under the bridge, and it is Max Hardy who leads at the end of lap number 3. Lucas King, Dan Bray, Danny Huskinson and Alfie Garrett. That's the order as they come past me, and I'm probably going to put a 5 on the fact that won't be the order as they come past you, because there goes Annabelle McCarthy up the inside of Chloe Gleeson, so that's a change for 3rd of the juniors.
Well, they're coming down the hill towards me. I can't tell who it's going to be at the moment because they haven't cranked the corner. Oh, blimey, it's side-by-side action all the way around. Alfie Garrett trying to go around 2 bikes on the outside there at Cascades. It's a definite freight train of bikes down there. They have got to be separated by quite literally 0.2 of a second, I reckon, that lot going down the back straight there. There's actually nothing between them. Look who's the fastest man on that lap as well. The man in 3rd place, Dan Bray, all of a sudden has managed to pull the fastest lap out of the bag there. And also interesting to see that Alfie Garrett's found his way into the 2 minutes. These guys just getting quicker and quicker. The young ladies had time there in the 201s, the 202s as well, so losing a little bit of time there. So they've probably lost any chance of catching this particular bunch, but these guys are setting absolutely flying pace. Alex Mann has come across the line as well, and he continues to lead Andy Wales, but just by 0.1 of a second or so, which is pretty much a lifetime in MZ racing. Caleb Wright has an advantage over Chris Kent as well. Here they come past me. That is still Hardy. Bray there in 3rd. I think it must be King there still in 2nd as they make their way up the top there. Don't think there's any change in the McCarthy-Gleeson battle either. A little bit further back, we've got, that says Baker and Barrel having a battle with Cowie as well, a little bit further back.
So looking out for the leaders in the MZs, the
exactly
Ninjas.
Right. Oh, you look for the Ninjas, I look for the MZs. Does that sound like a fair swap?
Sounds good to me. Ninjas are coming towards me now, underneath the bridge, out of Deers Leap, and across the start-finish line. So this is the end of lap number 4. We're over half race distance now, 3 laps to go, and Danny Huskinson goes up the inside of Dan Bray. There is a Danny-sized gap in the middle, and he found it. So Danny Huskinson up to 3rd place, ahead of Dan Bray, and Alfie Garrett watching this all unfold in front of him, chasing hard in 5th place. Behind them then it is Chloe Gleeson in front of Annabelle McCarthy, as he said there. So Chloe now ahead of Annabelle, as Harley Baker, Harry Barrell, George Cowie round out the top 10. Leo Solu, Mike Brunsden is your top 12. There goes the number 171 of Danny Lees. He's now in front of the 76 bike of Jamie King.
Okay, Huskinson passed on Bray there at Cascades with a very sharp move as well, so Again, those 5 seem to really bunch up as they go down the lakeside straight towards Ireland. I don't think we'll see much of a change when they get here. I think it'll still be Hardy leading. Nobody can quite. I think Max is very, very strong on the brakes. Keep seeing people pulling out to pass Max and going, nah, I don't think I'll bother with that. It was Alex Mann who led the MZs with Andy Wales there in second as they came past me. Caleb Bright was still in third there as well with a good gap over Chris Kent. Here comes the battle. Oh, and Hardy's actually got quite a bit of a break here, actually, mate, in relative terms. He's probably got 8 bike lengths there, flicking it very nicely. Danny Huskinson. There goes Lucas King, and that is Alfie Garrett behind him because Bray has lost out badly in the shuffle this time round. He's to the back of the field. You said it would probably change by the time it got to me. It certainly has. The only thing that hasn't really changed, of course, is our leader, Max Hardy, doing the business out in front once again.
0.6 of a second was the gap between the top 5 when they came past me. Chloe Gleeson and Annabelle McCarthy for 3rd and 4th of the juniors. That is for 6th and 7th overall. There was 3/4 of a second between Chloe ahead of Annabelle. I'll keep an eye on that one, but because it looks as though Annabelle's closed the gap by a 1/10 and a half to so that'll bring it around about 0.6 of a second or so. So at the end of lap number 5, we are now starting the penultimate lap. Max Hardy, that's the biggest advantage we've seen probably all weekend for the leader in the Ninjas. Lucas King, I tell you what, he's got some style around Old Hall Corner as Lucas King. Elbow just hovering above the ground. Danny Huskinson, Dan Bray and Alfie Garrett up next. And then that will be Chloe Gleeson, Annabelle McCarthy, and just behind them, not too far adrift, is Harley Baker. He put in his personal best lap of the race of a 2-minute 1.847, and that means he's 0.3 of a second behind Annabelle McCarthy there, Keith. They're going through the left-hander at Cascades now onto that lakeside straight, but it is Max Hardy with an advantage for the first time, I'm sure, all weekend of
huge.
over a second.
No, it's mental. You can't believe he's actually managed to pull out that far. That means he's hopefully broken the toe for the guys behind, so maybe he can hold on to that gap and go to what is going to be a relatively easy victory. No change in the MZs when they just came past me. Again, a similar sort of gaps there with definitely the same order as well. Looks like Alexander Mann is on his way to yet another win. Andy Wales, of course, picked up a few more points yesterday. Might be another back marker or 2 to play with because we've still got 2 laps to go and a slow bike has just come past me. Well, Max doesn't enjoy a gap of a second now. It's down to about 4 or 5 bike lengths. Danny Huskinson is chasing hard after Lucas King, who is behind him. Dan Bray's there. Alfie Garrett must have had a moment because the 27 machine has dropped right off the pace. Then it's the 2 young ladies there. And I don't think there's any change. No, it's Gleeson from McCarthy once again, both trying to gain an advantage over each other. And yep, nobody's really swapping. They've all negotiated their way past one of the back markers, one of the slower MZs. Looks like the midfielders are going to come up and do something similar very shortly. I notice we've got a fastest first sector time there for Lucas King this time round, mate, so he's not giving up on an overall win at all. I think that gap that Hardy's got...
Tell you what, Keith, the last lap flag's going out now, and it's Lucas King who led the way, and Max Hardy up the inside now, but Lucas King, not an opportunity there to retaliate in Old Hall Corner. But it is going to be Lucas King against Max Hardy. Dan Bray is not too far away. Danny Huskinson is there in 4th place. As he said, not sure what's happened to Alfie Garrett because he was right in the mix in those 5 riders. But looks like he lost about 3 seconds in sector number 1 and about 1.2 seconds in sector number 2. But it's Dan Bray who is the quickest man on the circuit of a 1:59.234. But look at the time set by Lucas King, 1 second quicker than your race leader, Max Hardy.
That's pretty impressive stuff, actually. That really is. But actually, the other quickest man on the track there was Dan Bray.
Yep, 59.234 for him.
There's a faster time out there because nobody did a perfect pair of purples. There is a back marker that's coming into play around about Island Bend, so that could be interesting. That could maybe upset the apple cart for somebody there.
Final podium position for the juniors as well, Keith. Less than 0.2 of a second between Chloe Gleeson and Annabelle McCarthy.
Well, we'll wait and see if Chloe can be going home with a full dashboard there. And wait and see as the leaders come back towards me once again. Max Hardy continues to lead. It is a 2 bike length gap though before Lucas King comes through. Dan Bray pushing on hard. He's got Danny Huskinson for very close company. They'll know they're on the last lap. They've seen the hurry up play. A long look behind him for Lucas King. Uses his lightweight to try and power out of the corner. Pulls alongside Max Hardy, but Max has the momentum, goes up the hill. They're going to go up to Druids. I wonder if Lucas is going to go for a charge. I'm going to let you keep an eye on them. I don't think there's any change to the ladies there. Watch out at Lodge though, mate. Let me know what happens up there.
I think Lucas there, he went wider on the approach in towards Druids, and that'll give him a bit more momentum to slingshot him down the straight. I'll keep my eyes up towards Lodge Corner, and it looks like Max Hardy just about holding on to the advantage here, but can Lucas do anything? Danny Huskinson's gone wide, so Danny Huskinson, who was third across the line last time around, he went a little bit wide, but it's going to be a checkered flag for Max Hardy as he takes victory ahead of Lucas King. Then it's Dan Bray, Danny Huskinson in third and fourth position, but 0.104 was the gap across the line. Fair play to Lucas King, because he was over a second away.
Yeah, he dragged that back very nicely, didn't he?
He was, as Alfie Garrett claimed second of the juniors and fifth place overall. Chloe Gleeson takes third of the juniors, but she was only 0.03 away from a silver medal.
Ooh, impressive stuff, yeah, because Alfie was having some problems towards the end there. We didn't notice that one, to be fair. So, yeah, Chloe was closing him very rapidly indeed. She, it was a 2:06 from Alfie on that last lap, so he lost 4 seconds, which is nearly good news for Chloe. She nearly had a pair of a pair of silvers and a pair of bronzes for the dashboard, but hey, you'll settle for 3 bronzes and a silver any day, won't you?
Certainly will.
Definitely a good weekend of work. Right, waiting for the MZs to join us, which they'll be doing very shortly indeed, and it's hard to see Alexander Mann doing anything other than recovering from that earlier seizure, I assume it was. That's for the bike, not for Alexander, I rest to add. So Alexander Mann does indeed come over the line, and we wait a few seconds, and it will be Andy Wales coming over the line in second of class. And I think Taylor Bright is going to pick up another bronze medal as well. Chris Kent will finish in fourth, so he gets nothing more than 13 points for his trouble, but when you're trying to put together a whole championship, those 13 points could be extremely valuable. Okay, that concludes the ACU Team Green Juniors, the Kawasaki Seniors, and the British British MZ Racing Club class as well. Thanks to you all for coming. We look forward to seeing all of those girls and boys out at Donington as well. As we move on to the big bangers once again, it'll be interesting to see how many of these girls and boys will stay for the weekend, won't it, Bradley?
Certainly will, because it's time for the Helmet City Supersport 600s and Club.
Oh yeah, we only got the one powerbike race today, haven't we? Sorry, I've turned over the wrong piece. Well, not turned over the wrong piece of paper. I've shuffled them in the wrong order. Sorry, mate. I thought it was powerbikes. No, the powerbikes have one race today, don't they? And it's the 600s who have the 2 races today.
See that AJ is there, Gareth Cunningham is there, Jack Muir is there as well in the middle of that front row. Of course, Gareth Cunningham heading up row number 2. We did have a few retirements earlier on today, one of which was Matt Pallett, who should be there in the middle of row number 4 as we get the green flag at the back ready for this 7-lap event. Red lights are on, out go the lights, and AJ, does he make a good start as he has done all weekend? Yes, he does. He will be the man to lead them into Old Hall Corner for the first time. Gareth Cunningham is there in the mix as well. Looks like Tyler Donovan was just getting a little bit squeezed on the inside. Will Howarth is up into second place, but a 3 wide into Denton's and Cascades. Keith, that is scary stuff in second.
Oh, it certainly is in 600 racing. These guys are almost looking to reclaim their Axe Murderers title from the Minitwins, and I tell you what, if they keep that sort of action up, they may well do it. Well, unsurprisingly, it's the white bike of AJ out in front. How many times have we said that over the years? Really, AJ's been racing with the club for blimey, something like 16, 17 years or something. I can't remember when AJ first joined us in the YPMs way back in the day, but he's gone on to great strengths, won a couple of classes, won the Milano Trophy twice. That is an incredible achievement, and it looks like he wants to add the MRO 600 to his already impressive collection of titles. Over the top they come then. Let's see if I can pick them up as they come by me. AJ very easy to spot out in front. Now, second place, who is that? See if I can see a number. That is, no, I think it might, is that Muir? I can't quite tell, mate. I'm not 100% sure of Jack's colours. I know they're quite black. Didn't quite pick it up, but whoever it is definitely giving him a hard time. Having a quick look round as well to make sure everybody is through safely, and yep, everybody seems to have made it without incident at all. The leaders are going to be with you very quickly indeed, I feel, Bradley.
Yeah, I'm looking up towards Lodge, see if I can see them. There is AJ leading the way in towards Lodge Corner. Sounds like a bit of chatter on the radio there. We'll try and pick that up very shortly. So it is AJ who leads the way. Will Howard is there in second place, and it's Gareth Cunningham ahead of Reese Forrest. Jack Muir is in fifth place, but a change of second place because Gareth Cunningham goes up the inside of Will Howard. Will still first of the Clubmans. Next up, it's Michael Mills in sixth place. James May makes up 3 positions. And I'll tell you what, Keith, it's not been the greatest opening lap for number 91, Sam Hurst. He's down into 14th place.
Oh.
He's lost 11 places, has the number 91 machine.
No idea what happened to him. Now, somebody didn't come around. So there was a 4. I didn't pick up the number at all.
I don't see Logan Stone coming around.
I don't see Logan Stone either. So, unfortunately, I think that might be Logan there because Cheng's gone by, and we know the speed of Cheng ain't going to be troubling Logan Stone anytime soon.
It's
so
up at Druids, Keith.
Yeah, another one for Druids. I hope we got loads of people up there with the extra miles bars because they're definitely working overtime. I did wonder if that was Will Howard in second. I didn't want to confirm it, just didn't want Dominique getting all excited and then blaming me if I was wrong, basically. Here we go then, over the top, and it is AJ out in front once more, and he is leading. That is Gareth Cunningham, familiar bike there. Howard is indeed in third place there. Behind Howard, it is the 48 machine of Reese Forrest, yep. And then behind Reese, I think that might be Jack Muir, and Michael Mills is in the mix there as well. James May not too far off the pace either, as they go screaming over the top once again. Disappearing well out of my view, almost like they don't want to see me.
Oh, poor you.
Poor me, I'll live.
Looking at the sector times, I can see that Sam Hurst, I think, has made up about 3 positions in that first sector, Keith. I'll try and see where he comes across the line because it was 14th. I suspect he'll be a little bit higher now as AJ comes across the line. He's hard on the brakes now, in towards turn number 1. Gareth Cunningham, the Doctor's Dangle for the man on bike number 169. Gareth Cunningham puts in a 1 minute 44. Then it's Will Howard, Reese Forrest, Jack Muir, Michael Mills. Matt Pallett makes up 2 positions ahead of James May, Addy Behal, and rounding out the top 10, it's Sam Hurst making up 4 positions. So Sam Hurst on that lap, Keith, did a 1 minute 44.4, and that is the second fastest lap of the race. So Sam Hurst has certainly got the bit between his teeth at the moment. He's got Addy Behal 1.3 seconds up the road, but he is lapping 3 seconds quicker. So keep your eyes on Team Valley Racing number 91, Sam Hurst.
Well, of course, he's got the other thing. He's got a couple of Copland in front of him as well. So that means he's effectively in 8th place at the moment. But he has been on the podium pretty much every race so far this weekend, hasn't he? No. Missed out in the earlier race, didn't he, Sam? He was 4th, I think, in the earlier race.
Hurst 4th, yep.
Yeah, that's right, cool. So, all right, behind AJ, again, he's leading quite comfortably, slightly reduced laps here, but it is another good battle. Here comes Cunningham. Cunningham just ahead of the 14 machine of Jack Muir now, who's moved up a place as well. Forrest has now been deposed by 1 man. Lewis is behind them as well. I think that might have been Matt Pallett up there as well. There goes Sam Hurst chasing hard after him with a relatively empty track in front of him, of course, before he reaches Addy Behal. And I think he's probably, let me just check that. Yeah, I think he's probably found a way past on Behal, has he?
Second times would suggest he's found a way through.
I think he has. I thought he had. I would just like to get confident.
Here we go, Keith. Jack Muir up the inside of Gareth Cunningham. He's made up 3 positions there. He was 3rd across the line, making up 2, but he is at the inside of Gareth Cunningham now. So Jack Muir is the man on the mission at the moment. 1 minute 44.277 for the man on bike number 14. He's now ahead of Gareth Cunningham, Reese Forrest, Michael Mills. Will Howard has dropped 3 positions. Matt Pallett is up next. Sam Hurst not only found a way through on Addy Behal, but also a way through on James May. So, on that lap it was a 1 minute 45.8. For Sam Hurst, but he does have 1.4 seconds of clear track in front of him before he sees the number 12 Triumph of Matt Pallett. I wouldn't
be surprised if we saw Sam get into the 144s on this particular lap, or even possibly lower as well. He's chasing hard after that group in front of him. What a great ride from Jack Muir, though. The boy's on fire this weekend all of a sudden. Although he's had some problems of late, but whatever they are, they're well and truly behind him. Who knows, maybe he can challenge the mighty AJ at Donington when we go there for the next round. He's ahead of Gareth Cunningham as they make their way through. Here, Reese Forrest is there, as you suggested. It is the leading Clubman of Howard who has dropped back to the back of that particular pack. But it's still a very decent result. Well, Sam Hurst has actually got a problem. He's already managed to catch the next bike in front of him, and I think that's Matt Pallett he's now giving a hard time to, and obviously Matt is absolutely no slouch. So once Sam finds a way past him, he will be up to 7th place, and he will have a relatively empty track in front of him, because over the line I think Matt was a couple of seconds behind the leading group there. Everybody else making their way around.
Yeah, we've got AJ coming across the line now, and it's a 1 minute 43.641 for AJ. Jack Muir, 1 minute 44.127. So the gap opens up by half a second to 3.6. But Jack Muir, that's the quickest lap of his race so far. 44.127. Cunningham, Forrest, Mills, Howarth, Hurst is through on Pallett. So Sam Hurst is through on Matt Pallett and has a little bit of clear track in front of him. 5 seconds in fact, so plenty of clear track in front of Sam Hurst. Will Howard still leading the way in the Clubmans. James May second in the Clubmans. Addy Beehall rounds out the top 10 overall ahead of Tyler Donovan and Jake Anderton. Dean Neal 7.6 seconds up the road from James Lord, so he's looking good for a bronze medal in the Clubmans is Dean Neal on that turquoise and yellow Yamaha R6. Let's have a look further down the order. Good to see Jake Marsh is back out on the circuit after a DNF in the race earlier on today. He is there on course to score 4 points at the moment, 12th in class but 16th overall.
AJ down to me then at the Hizzy chicane once more. Again, unchallenged, but wow, Jack Muir is pushing on as hard as he possibly dare. He has broken the backs of the people behind him. He really is absolutely flying. I don't think there's any change in the order of those four machines. Here comes Sam Hurst. He's definitely broken Matt Howard as well. And as you said, Bradley, he's got a good little gap before he can catch those next guys. I wouldn't be surprised to see something like a 43 or maybe even a 42 coming out of Sam in these far from ideal conditions, as AJ is probably going to be back with you very shortly indeed. Though actually, look at these sector times, mate. It is Muir. I thought he was looking rather racy. He's just gone 0.3 of a second quicker than the leader in the first sector there. Let's have a look at the lap times. It's a 44.1, a 43.7. So Muir actually closes the gap. It's 3.25 seconds. We've got 2 laps to go, so I doubt he's going to be able to catch him. But it's still very impressive as Reece Forrest also goes past on Gareth Cunningham there. Michael Mills is still in 5th, Howard still in 6th, and Hurst is also into the 43s, which I suspected he might get there. And it's a 43.8. So there's a few 43s pumping in, mainly from Johnson, Muir, and Hurst. So Hurst is now still 4 seconds back from Howard. So I think he's going to really get the bit down. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something like a very low 43 or maybe even a magic 42 from the Norther.
A quick one, Keith. What's the Clubman 600 lap record?
The Clubman 600 lap record at present stands with Scott Stevens at a 43.438.
Okay. So I think Will Howard, 1 minute 44.8 at the moment.
I don't think he's gone quicker than that all weekend. I have been keeping a wary eye on that because I do know that we will see him collect a few Clubman lap records along the way, I feel, because he is very rapid indeed. Like AJ, in fact, now coming past me. AJ still with that cover lead. Muir pushing on very, very hard indeed. There's no change there. Looks like Howard has made up a place. I think he's found a way past on Mills. There goes Hurst. He's got the back marker in front of him as they power up the hill. Tries to pick up a little bit of a toe, go down the inside. Very, very rapid indeed. Try looking left and right. Yes, so Howard, I think, is passed on Mills. Okay, that's only for overall positions, but every little point helps, of course. And AJ's going to be collecting another checkered flag. There is no 2 laps to go. Sorry, last lap flag, I should say.
Last lap flag is out now. I can see that AJ is, he's just come past me now and heading towards Old Hall Corner. Here comes Jack Muir. And last time around, let's say a 43.7. This time it's a 44.3. Here comes Reece Forrest, Gareth Cunningham, Will Howard and Michael Mills. A great 4-way scrap going on there. Sam Hurst, that time, let's have a look, 1 minute 45.6. Lost a little bit of time in sector number 2.
I think that might have been the back marker going up over Clay Hill and might have just cost him a little bit of time to probably had to roll out of it. A little bit of collision avoidance, I think, because I don't think he realised how quickly he was closing in on that back marker, to be fair.
Certainly is, could well be the case. Matt Pallett is 3.7 seconds away now from Sam Hurst. Through in towards Old Hall Corner now goes Dean Neal. He is rounding up the Clubman podium contenders at the moment. Got 1, 2, 3 bikes coming towards me now, and that is Aaron Hands ahead of James Lord and Jake Marsh. So Aaron Hands, the Welshman, leads that particular 3-way scrap at the moment. Of course, James Lord 4th in the Clubmans at the moment. Jake Marsh 16th overall, but 12th in class. AJ, I suspect we'll be heading towards you now.
Oh yeah, JJ's already with me. That's the sort of pace the boy's got, and it's the consistency too. He just pumps in those laps time after time after time. I think maybe that's where Jack Muir suffered there. He made a little bit of a wobble there, lost a little bit of time. Next battle, Houser's now been put back behind Mills. Pardon me, Hurst is still coming on very fast indeed, but he's not going to be able to challenge those top guys. And I don't think there's any other great changes that are going to happen throughout the field. Clubman honours look like they're going to go the way of Will Howes once again, so that'll be a perfect weekend for him, won't it? James May, reigning rookie champion, Dean Neal is up next, and James Lord is out there once again, and Paul Coombs, the man who led coming into this round, looks like he's going to pick up the points for 5th place in the Clubman class. But AJ, another gold medal. I tell you what, the man could sell them back to us and make a fortune, couldn't he?
I'll buy one. 3.9 seconds at the end of those 7 laps then for AJ over Jack Muir. Fastest lap of the race does go to AJ, but only 3 riders went sub 1 minute 44. The first of which was AJ with a 43.641, Jack Muir with a 1 minute 43.744, and Sam Hurst a 1 minute 43.887. But it is Johnson from Muir, Forrest, Cunningham, Mills. That's the top 5. Will Howarth, 6th overall, first of the Clubmans. Perfect weekend for Clubman points for Will Howarth, the reigning rookie mini-twin champion. Sam Hurst, he was down in 14th at the end of lap number 1, made his way up to 7th overall, but will take 10 points for his 6th position in class. Matt Pallett, Addy Beehall, Tyler Donovan rounds out the top 10. James May, 2nd of the Clubmans, ahead of Jake Anderton, and Dean Neal rounds off the Clubman podium. Aaron Hands, James Lord, and Jake Marsh, that is your top 16. Next across the line will be the number 38 machine Willet of Paul Coombs. In fact, no, it's Matt Rostron who got the better of Jennison, and Paul Coombs 6th of the Clubmans, just behind the 117 of Ben Jennison. Tom Vaughan across the line. There goes Joe Denny and the 331 bike of Tim Burrows. And then Wayne Avis, number 201, takes 2 points in the Supersport 600 with 14th in class, 23rd overall. Zach Lee on that green, black and yellow Kawasaki comes across the line. He takes 6 points, 10th position in the Clubmans. George Higgins will be next up. Number 84, George Higgins across the line now, the man from Market Drayton. And then next up will be the 85 of Jack Wolf as he takes the checkered flag. We started with 29 there, Keith. Unfortunately, we lost Greg Pym. He returned back to the pits on lap 4, and Logan Stone, unfortunately, down and out of it at Druids on the opening lap. As though we're getting ready for the start here. A few riders just changing or getting into the correct position, it would seem, Keith. So there we go, red flag at the back. That will quickly be changed to green. There it is, right on cue. So the red flag at the front is removed. All eyes on those lights. On go the lights. Clutches in, get the revs up, and out go the lights. Here we go. Fresh air underneath the front wheel for Kev Woolley from pole position, coming past and in towards the first corner. Hayden Smith up the inside, trying to squeeze his way into 3rd position, and does so successfully. That's Mark Hagan, 5th position. Damien Lee coming under pressure now from Paul Welsh. So Paul Welsh is up into 7th place, but for my money it looked as though that was Kev Woolley leading the way down to you, Keith.
Paul Welsh, a regular visitor to the podium in over the years, on and off, but unfortunately Squelchy can't really put together a season these days due to his work and family commitments. Somebody already pulling off the circuit. They've turned stage right at the bottom of the hill. I can't quite figure out, it's one of the white bikes. It's not the same suspect as before. They are riding it slowly back to the paddock, so that's unfortunately we've lost one of our machines already, but it's certainly not Mr. Woolley, because he was leading the way as they charged up Lakeside towards Island, round Island, through Shells, up to the Britain chicane. Nothing to do with the bike, rather a man who is very important in Oulton Park history. Then they come over the hilltop there, and there goes Woolley. Already that's got to be at least a 2-second gap, I would have thought. I think that could well be Hayden Smith once again on Mr. Whitby's machine, doing it an amazing justice there. Now, can he take the fight to Woolley? I don't know. Woolley has been very rapid indeed. David Ball right the next there goes Welsh is down in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th place at the moment, trying to hang on to the coattails. There goes Ever-Reverend Kev Marshall, still wearing the old bell staffs. Come on, Kev, get the nice new suit out, show it off to the family, and the rest of them disappear on through. think Richard Hayward might have made a good start there. I think he might be up in a podium argument position as well, actually, as he was the one I didn't quite catch.
Yeah, he did start 4th on the grid.
Oh, did he? Okay, Richard's away very well indeed then.
Here we go at the end of lap number 1. Kev Woolley has quite a large margin over Hayden Smith. In real terms, it is 1.621. Richard Hayward is there in 3rd place. David Ball in 4th, but here comes Mark Haig. Mark Haig up the inside of Dave Ball to put him back down to 5th place. Dave Ball has got the run on him. They're going side by side down towards the avenue. It looks like Richie Welsh was trying to capitalise on that one as well. So it's a very much after you. And Richie Welsh wanted to get in on the fun.
Well, Woolley definitely leads Smith trying to chase after him, but I'm afraid all Smith can do really is to hold on to his 2nd position and hope that he can hold off Mr. Hayward, Mr. Ball, Mr. Haig, and also Mr. Welsh. Welch, who's a very close company, Welsh as opposed to Welch. There we go, that's the difference. Squelchy Welchy, who is a little bit further, so we've got a Welsh and a Welch running in order. Tom Ridley is up next, and it's Ian Davies, who had that little bit of a problem in the Open 500 race, of course. Damien Lee rounding out your top 10 ahead of it's Kev Marshall actually, who's just gone up a place there, so well done Kev. Kev running strongly. Actually, that makes Kev 2nd of the Clubmans.
That's Abby in 2nd.
Yeah, there we go. Sorry, I've been calling Kev Marshall's name for the last 15 years. That's the problem.
To be fair, Kev Marshall's made up 3 positions on that.
Okay, good. Yeah, but I'm afraid mixing up I don't know how old Abby is, but a young blonde female for a 76-year-old tarmacker, I think is a bit of a fail, really, isn't it? Boy, I need to get to Specsavers.
Kev Woolley has gone through for the first split 2.1 seconds quicker than anybody else on the circuit, Keith. So that gap could well be approaching 3 seconds, if not exceeding 3 seconds, when he passes me at the end of lap number 2. So he's through Lodge now and down through Deers Leap, underneath the bridge, back into my sight, and we'll be driving for the line now. And at the end of lap number 2, it is a 1 minute 56.434, but the battle on the circuit is that between Mark Haig, Hayden Smith and Richie Welsh. Next up is Richard Hayward, but David Ball at the inside of Richard Hayward, and that would be for 5th position. Damien Lee at the inside of Paul Welch. Great to see Paul right back up there at the sharp end with Damien Lee. Just behind them, Tom Ridley. And then the first of the Clubmans, that is Paul Neild. Abby Marshall up next. And Abby Marshall and Ian Davis having a good fight. Only 0.3 of a second between those two riders for 2nd and 3rd in the Clubmans, Keith.
Excellent stuff. Abby riding Len Whalen's bike. Len, another one of the great stalwarts of the club, doesn't ride himself anymore, but we used to be at the very sharp end way back when. We sadly lost his son at Brands Hatch many years ago. We do have a memorial trophy as well as a Spirit of the Club Award, which is awarded at the dinner dance every year in memorial of Len Whalen's late son, unfortunately. Right, looking towards the top hilltop once again. And here comes Woolley, just nobody else even near him. That's the thing, he's just so dominant, he really is. Talking about dominant, the man in 2nd place is starting to establish himself a good little slot there. That is Mark Haig, but I tell you who's coming fast, mate. Richie Welsh has managed to find a way past on Hayden Smith, and I think Welch is getting the grips of this machine. I know Dougie Edmondson, another former YPM champion, will be on the pit wall cheering his friend on. So they disappear off, and I'll tell you what, keep an eye on that man he's now in 3rd place. He's past Smith, and he's chasing hard after Haig, who's currently in 2nd as well. Mark Haig, of course, was the man who finished 3rd in the championship last year, lost out on 2nd by just 5 points after an unfortunate day at the track in the last penultimate race, actually. But very, very impressive stuff. And bear in mind, Mark was then a clubman as well. So he's no longer a clubman, of course, and they're over the line there. You can see Richie Welsh in 3rd place. And what's his lap time like? Yeah, he's got a little bit quicker than the man in front of him too, hasn't he? Yeah. So we could be on for a bit of a scrap for 2nd place here. We'll forget about the leaders. Sorry, Kevin. You're not very entertaining at all. You're doing a brilliant job. But the battle really is on behind, and we know that Hayden Smith can go quick, even though he took a tumble earlier.
Got a hand in the air here, sorry Keith. Paul Tolan, number 2 on that Kipper Keys supported machine. I think he may be retirement. Paul Tolan across the line with his hand in the air. And yeah, looks as though he's going to be retiring back to the paddock, Keith. That will be out of a 13th place and 10th in class.
It's a great shame for Paul there, another one of the stalwarts of the class who's been riding with them a long time as well. Now I'm looking forward to this battle coming over the top. Richie Welsh is definitely looking to lean the bugs out of his visor because he can clearly peer through it, stare hard into the back of Mark Haig's bike. Over the top they come, and can the experience and cunning of Welsh overcome the speed of Haig? Down the hill we come. Is there going to be a stab here? No, there isn't. They're not quite close enough. If anything, actually Smith is going to be threatening Richie. Oh, twitch from Richie there as he flicks it left to right there, and that's given a little bit more impetus to the man behind. So Smith is closing in the toe. Richie has lost the toe to Mark Haig, that all-important toe, which is so useful on these little bikes. You don't have a lot of power to punch your way out of the corners with. Certainly don't get them squirming under power like you do some of the bigger bikes. Obviously they're easier on tyres, and you can still high side and flick yourself over the bars with them. But Richie Welsh, I think, is a little bit slower. In fact, no, I don't know if it's Richie going slower, actually, or if it's Mark going quicker, because I have a look at the sector times, the 24.231 there for Mark Haig, which is quicker than Kev Woolley in the lead there. So he goes purple, and then back in 5th place, David Ball gets the fastest second sector time. So there's a 1:55 out there somewhere. And, Mark Haig's found the 1:55, comes over the line, 55.841. Richie Welsh, 56.3 behind him, and it's a 56.30 for Smith. So this 3rd place is most definitely not settled, is it, my friend?
No, you're absolutely right, though. As you said there, 55s, 56s all round there. Mark Haig, quickest lap of the race with that 55.841. And I noticed he was having a long look over his right shoulder on the run from Old Hall Corner down the avenue in towards Denton's. He had a long look over his right shoulder, and there was about 3/4 of a second worth of clear track behind him as Kev Marshall comes across the line now on bike number 46, and then it's number 100 of Peter Nichols on the Renter Racer. So Nichols, then it's first of the junior clubmans, that is David Patterson. And in the clubmans, actually, we can see that it's all quite spread out. We've got Neil Davis, Marshall. That's Abby Marshall in 3rd, ahead of Kev Marshall in 4th.
Mark Haig really establishing this 2nd place there. And I'll tell you now, it looks like Richie's establishing the 3rd. But the 4th place, Smith, is now coming under all sorts of pressure from Bull as well. So this one is far from settled. We do see a fastest 1st sector time coming in for Kev Woolley. So Kev's just reminding us of why he is King Kev, basically, with a 23.9. So those sub-24 in the 1st sector. I wonder if he's going to pull the magic 55-second lap out of his hat. Wouldn't be surprised. We know he's capable of going even quicker, holding the lap record as he does with the 53.5. I'll tell you what, mate, it's definitely getting chillier down here. This box is turning more into an ice box than a sweat box, that's for sure. Hey ho, we've only got one more race to go after this one.
Oh, here we go, change of 3rd place. Hayden Smith goes for the inside on Richie Welsh. So, number 521, Hayden Smith. Does he run it wide? Yes, he does. Richie Welsh is trying to get the cut back. And they're 3 wide again as they go in towards Denton. Looks like Richie just had to pull out of that one. So expect to see Richie Welsh in 5th place, Keith.
I do.
Hayden Smith is up there in 3rd. Dave Ball is in 4th.
Yeah, absolutely. That's worked out very badly for Richie Welsh there. They did the old shuffle. Well, he's got a couple of laps, about a lap and a half or so to regain that place. And if anybody can do it, I think Richie might find a way because he's very experienced, certainly knows his way around this track and around bikes in general. So let's wait and see if he can claw that all-important gap back. Woolley, though, does indeed come across the line and do that magic 55, a 55.357. So almost exactly 2 seconds away from his own lap record. And I'm not surprised in these cold conditions. I think the bikes will not be getting quite the ultimate grip they'd like. Woolley's only problem now is going to be a couple of back markers he still has to negotiate. And Mark Haig establishing himself very nicely. Oh, Hayden Smith does a straight on trick down here on the brakes. Unfortunately for him, he has a look over his shoulder. He's lost the place there because there goes David Ball, who's being chased up by Richie Welsh. So Hayden, unfortunately, has outbraked himself into the Hizzy chicane. Had to do the old flip-flop through the roses, as you do down here when you pull that trick. Squelchy involved in a very exciting battle with Davis, with Lee and Neil, that is here. Just ahead of him there as well. See what I mean about the battle of the marshals there, Marshall and Marshall. It could be granddaughter and grandfather. Now there's a relationship. I don't think we've actually seen in a race at any time. I think we've seen an awful lot of things. We've seen a grandfather and a grandson in the same race. That was the Hardys, and also the Baldwins as well many years ago.
The battle for third has come past me now. Richie Welch up in the third place, Hayden Smith and David Ball now. So after that out-braking manoeuvre that Hayden Smith did on himself down there in front of you, he's back up to fourth place. But there is only 0.3 of a second separating those three riders, Welch, Smith and Ball. But Mark Haig, the quickest man on the circuit by 0.3 of a second, with the fastest lap of the race at 1 minute 55.081.
Wow. You do wonder if he could be a little bit more consistent, whether or not he could take the fight to the charging Woolley at some point, don't you? That's very, very impressive stuff from him. I'm surprised about the split times here. You think the split time would be somewhere else, maybe coming into Hissy Chicane or something like that, or wherever around about halfway would represent. It's very, very weirdly balanced, isn't it, the two sector times?
Yeah, so it's we got 1 minute 23 in the first split, and 31 seconds in the other.
That's what I mean. It's like a little bit imbalanced. Can we get a 50-50 split, quite literally? Well, let's not worry about that. Let's worry about what's on track in front of us, and there's not a lot to worry about. It's Woolley, it's Haig. Here comes the battle, and it is Welsh up to third place, chased hard by Mr. Smith. So I think Mr. Bull's had a big wobble somewhere. He's lost a whole lot of time, and obviously they are on the last lap now. So Richie is going to be such a happy man if he can bring this thing home on the podium. I know Dougie will be delighted for him as well, as will everybody who knows Richie, one of the great characters of the paddock. Waiting for Kev to trip the timing beam. I'll let you call them over the line, mate.
Got them here as they come in towards Lodge Corner, so everybody inside the top six are now into the second sector as the checkered flag waved for the fourth time for Kev Woolley. Bike number 51, Mark Haig, at the end of that race there. He put in a good lap of a 55.5, but on the podium it's number 86 for Richie Welch, so he does it, he gets a medal.
Jamie.
Certainly does. That number 86 means a lot to Richie, and it's clear to see as he comes across the line. He's punching the air all the way in towards the first corner.
I'm not surprised.
Podium, and I'm sure it's slightly emotional, Richie Welch with that podium. Hayden Smith and David Ball inside the top five. Richard Hayward rounds out the top six. Then we have the next battle, which is Tom Ridley, Damien Lee, and then the first of the Clubman riders. That's number 34, Paul Neal, ahead of the number 61 of Paul Welch. So the number 61 of Paul Welch, 10th overall, 9th in class. That is a good welcome return for the man from Lowestoft. Next up, we should be expecting number 31, Abby Marshall, and there she is coming across the line as we speak. Third place in the Clubman's for number 31, Abby Marshall, on that Len Whalen Racing TZR 250. And it should be the renter racer of Pete Nichols, who 1 lap ago went up the inside of Kev Marshall at Old Hall Corner. It looks as though he could well be holding on to it. As we look up towards Lodge Corner, there is a bit of a gap between Abby Marshall and the chasing pack, but nonetheless we're looking up towards Lodge Corner now, waiting for them to appear in our sight, and that looks as though it could well be Nichols ahead of Kev Marshall. We'll get them over the crest now here at Dearsley, and on the renter race, and number 100 inside the top 10 in class, it's Pete Nichols and then Kev Marshall, who claims 4 of the Clubmans. Great battles all the way down the circuit here, Keith, because next up is going to be the number 42 of Martin Pearson, who finds his way through on David Patterson and Chris Whitlock. So the junior Clubman race win decided by 0.367 of a second in favour of David Patterson over Chris Whitlock. Mark Stubblefield, 18th overall on a 333 bike, but 6th in class more importantly, as Michael Frost comes across the line on bike number 199. It's been one of them weekends for Michael Frost. He's returning back to the paddock now. Michael Frost with a 7th place in class, 9th bruised, but good to see him around the paddock after that get off at Druids. Row 6, Nick Smith, Chris Dickinson and Terry Smith. Row 7, Finn Chalk, Dan Swift, Max Dixon. Row 8 is Hayden Gill with Jack Griffiths, David Luff, Malvern May, Kane Fard, David Ransom, Aaron Hands, Andy Houghton at the back, and Stuart May. And that is the end of row number 10. As we get the red lights on, out they go. And a little bit of a jump there for Rob Saltmer. And the launch here is going to be number 42, George Halliday. I don't see Ted Wilkinson out there on the grid, but I can see Jordan Kilworth just in front of Hayden as they go around Old Hall Corner. But it is Adam Jameson ahead of Logan Stone as they run down the avenue in towards your view, Keith. But it's George Halliday, number 42, who leads.
I'm not surprised Ted's not here, to be fair, because I think it was more of a signature gaining exercise. And I think what the story is with George Halliday is that I don't say he doesn't need the track time, but I think he'd like the track time to get himself fresh and ready. We know he's another Isle of Man resident, and maybe he's just not going home for a couple of days. We do know some of the ferries could be getting cancelled because of the storm as well, and I'm not sure if George has got residents over here as well, but he doesn't seem to be in any rush to get back. So if you're on the mainland, you've got Oulton Park, you've got a bike, what are you going to do? Well, you might as well enjoy it at the end of the day. So let's see what George can do in this race, and obviously he's going to be very much the bellwether pace setter for the Thunderbike sport machines behind him. I think they realistically know they're probably not going to be able to get in touch with him. Likewise, Mr. Bampton, again, we don't know anything about Mr. Bampton, whether he's just here for the day, whether he's a serious championship contender. What I do know, though, is that leading the way, that is Mr. Jameson. He is ahead of George Halliday and Logan Parsons behind him. I think that might be Rob Soffer, or maybe, actually, no, that might be, I'm not quite sure, it might be the Finnis, actually. We'll wait and see when they get to the line. We'll only get a brief glimpse of them as they go past me. But yeah, that is Adam Jameson leading the way at the moment. That's very impressive stuff, isn't it, in this company?
Certainly is. I'll try and pick them up as they come out of Druids now, over the crest, underneath the Warwick Bridge, and into the brakes now for Lodge Corner at the end of lap number 1. And it is that yellow number 54, the former champion of Adam Jameson, who leads the way ahead of George Halliday. Logan Stone, number 5, up next. In third position, that's Toby Finnis and Michael Bampton, Josh Harvey, Rob Saltmer. Then it is Ben Brown, Nick Smith, James Fern, Morgan Creasy ahead of Chris Dickinson. There is Jordan Kilworth, and it doesn't look as though that's the same bike. It could well be the same bike that he was on earlier, maybe with different fairings. Who knows? We'll try and get a closer look at that one.
I thought that was Toby Finnis up at the sharp end there. Good on Toby, doing a great job there. The second of the Supertwins ahead of Bampton there, which is definitely very impressive stuff. Michael Bampton, the Denby-based rider. We actually had the reserves coming into this particular race. Chris Dickinson, Colin McPherson and Cameron Davidson were all listed as reserves. I don't know if they were able to get out at any time because such is the popularity of these classes.
Chris Dickinson is out there. He's 5th in the Twins. He's 12th overall on bike number 3. That's the BMW F900R for Chris Dickinson. But yeah, 4/10 of a second advantage for Adam Jameson over George Halliday at the end of that lap. Opening lap times are 1:54, Keith.
What's useful for Adam Jameson, of course, is it puts George Halliday between himself and Logan Stone, and Logan might still be in second, but he's obviously unable to challenge as easily as he would if he was ahead or if George wasn't in that gap there. In fact, if anything, Jameson is leading the way. He's stretching the gap out at the front end there as well. So I think it's Adam who really is, maybe he's just not had a good weekend so far. Maybe he couldn't quite find his mojo until now, but he is absolutely flying, going fastest of all in the first sector as well. So certainly no lack of pace from George Halliday there. Toby Finnis, I'm impressed with him as well. He's been quite strong all weekend. He leads the Supertwin Championship, and he's showing us why. Behind him, we've got Ben Brown as ever. Nick Smith moved up very nicely from his lowly starting position. You can see James Fern out there ahead of Morgan Creasy as well. There's Chris Dickinson as Adam Jameson comes across the line to lead the way, with George Halliday setting the fastest lap of the race so far. Logan Stone, though, just going back one place on where he was earlier as Bampton goes past. So that's now a pair of twins. Doesn't affect his position in the race, of course. And in fact, if the next bike comes past, and that's Toby Finnis, where it still won't affect Logan Stone's overall position, but it would be nice to see if he can get on terms with Adam Jameson. We'll wait and see, I guess, Bradley.
Yeah, fastest lap of the race at 1:49.879 for George Halliday. Just looking for the changes of position there. Looks as though James Fern found a way through on Nick Smith. Of course, Nick, a former Formula 400 and Sub-64 champion a few years ago. James Fern, he's never raced a 600 before this season. James Fern, number 102. I think the last time he spoke to us at Brands Hatch, he said the last time he rode a 600 was about 10 years ago. So he's certainly acquainted himself very well to the R6.
Interesting here that Aidan Patmore's never ridden a 600 either, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, George Halliday having a good look at Adam Jameson. Doesn't come off. That was definitely a big squeeze of the lever there. He's got Michael Banton behind him as well. Logan Stone is under quite a bit of pressure there from Toby Finnis as well. But again, that's only for overall position, not for class position. So yeah, it's all happening at the front here, mate. We've definitely got a good scrap. I don't think we'll quite say the best will last, but it's certainly not a shabby way to end the weekend, is it?
Absolutely not, absolutely not. First sector times are coming through, and it's Michael Bampton who is the quickest of everybody on the circuit by quite some margin as well. 0.7 of a second quicker than anybody else in the first split is the number 818 man on the Aprilia RS 660. So we'll keep an eye on him, and he's right in the wheel tracks now of George Halliday going the long way round to put him up into second place.
Red flag, my friend. We've got a red flag. It sounds like probably another Druids incident, I'm afraid, mate. That was a very urgent call there I just got on the radio. That's a great shame. We were only 3 laps into this race. It will be a restart if all works. So we've got a bit of a crash somewhere. I don't know if you can see anything on the cameras there at all.
Supertwins?
Yep, 4 laps to go. We got a message from Matt Weathall that's just about just confirmed that he is listening in, and he was telling us yesterday that Logan's been down at Steve Jordan's getting his car problem sorted out, and they're just telling me that it is 1 more lap and 4 laps, of course. So thank you very much indeed for that, Matt. I know you'll be listening to the progress of your little protege, Logan Stone.
We are underway now, Keith, and it is George Halliday ahead of, it looks like that could well be Ben Brown, Logan Stone, and Adam Jameson up next. So they're all filing down now in towards that right-hander at Denton's, over to the left for Cascades, but it looked to me as though that was the number 42 Daytona 660 of George Halliday leading the way.
Yeah, I've got Halliday leading the way. I've got Stone leading Jameson as well as they came out of Cascades, but I think Jameson had slightly better drive, so he might well be giving the man on the red and white bike a bit of a hard time by the time they get to Ireland. We'll try and get confirmation of that when they get a little bit closer to us, which they'll do very shortly indeed. Waiting for them to come over the top. I'll get that visual confirmation that George Halliday is indeed leading the way. So Adam Jameson will be the one ruining that yellow flag, because he had a great lead at the front of the race, and clearly like an empty racetrack in front of him, likes to be a leader rather than a follower perhaps. Here comes George Halliday then heading the way. That looks like another one of the twins behind. No, hang on a minute, I'm going to get a confirmation of a number here actually if I can. That's the 27 machine. Ben Brown, so that is the twin. Then it is Logan Stone. Then it is Adam Jameson. I can see Toby Finnis's distinctive members in about 6th place there. I'm not sure if that is Rob Saltner, maybe. I'll get confirmation of that when they hit the line very shortly. They'll be coming around. Remember, this is only 4 laps, so tactics really go out of the window when it's this much of a beat up for the cash, basically.
Here we go, George Halliday is into my sight now around Lodge Corner, and I can see Logan Stone seems to be leading the way there. Is he in the Thunderbike Sport? Yes, he is, just ahead of Adam Jameson, but George Halliday leads the way ahead of Ben Brown, Logan Stone, Adam Jameson, Rob Saltmer, Toby Finnis, and Michael Bampton up next. Then it is James Fern, Nick Smith, Jordan Kilworth, and that rounds out your top 10. Then it's Terry Smith, Malvern May, Chris Dickinson, Hayden Kilworth, Stuart May inside the top 15, but it looks like Malvern May's looking for an opportunity of a pass down the avenue, but not quite close enough. So Malvern May is 5th in the Twins at the moment, and I think he was inside the top 3 in the inaugural season of the Super Twins a couple of years ago, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He got his end of year podium, which is very well deserved. The good doctor. That's what he does for a living. Well, he's actually more of an anaesthesiologist, but you've got to get to be a doctor first before you get to play with the gas and stuff like that. James Fern in a relatively, for him I should say, lowly 4th place, and that's in class. He's come across the line in 8th place overall. But I think in terms of club twins, this could be Brown leading the way actually, so that's great news. If he can learn some lessons off of George Halliday, well, he's going to have good eyesight, because George really is flying away. And at the moment actually Logan Stone now moves into 2nd, still chased hard by Jameson. There we go, there's Ben Brown behind him, and that will be Saltmer I think up next, then Finnis behind him. Good long line of bikes making their way up the hill there though. Definitely all got their mojo happening. There goes Mr. May, and Dr. May I should say, another one of our customers at the Sports Bike Shop in Harlow with his lovely LS2 Dragon helmet there. Special deals available for Bemsee members, of course, which is why they'll come and shop with us. Jordan Kilworth is indeed out there, and Jordan is running around in 10th place, while his brother Hayden is in 14th place overall, and they got the pair of twins as well as Terry Smith's Yamaha behind them. Halliday over the line then, and a little bit of chopping and changing there as Halliday, Stone, Jameson over the line with Brown, Saltmer, Bampton, Finnis, Fern, Nick Smith, Jordan Kilworth. That's which Dickinson is that?
That's Chris.
Chris Dickinson, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah, Terry Smith, Hayden Kilworth, and Melvin May dropped a couple of places as well. Unfortunately, so that's the last time we're going to say nice things about you today then, Melvin. Right, up they go, up Lakeside towards Island. Remember, we're halfway into the race already because this is only a 4-lap sprint, a 4-lap dash for the cash. And off they disappear, and we'll wait for them to come into our view. Again, there's some good battles throughout the track, and not a lot of time to get it right or get it wrong, really. You've just got to push on as hard as you dare, and hope it shuffles out nicely in your favour at the end of it. Right, over the top we go then, do we? No, yes, it's Halliday once again leading the way. Huge lead for Halliday, as you're going to pick up the last lap play. Side by side, this is the battle then, mate. And there's Jameson, who's gone past, actually. I think he must have outdriven Stone over the top there. So that is now Jameson out in front. Saltmer, Ben Brown, in third place. Saltmer trying to chase out. No, we lost Saltmer. No, he's dropped back a bit, sorry. Getting a little bit confusing. There's a rain light on one bike there. You don't need that on at the moment, but that's the critical thing. Change in the lead for the Thunderbike Sport. So wait and see if it's still that way when they get down to you in very short time. But Loganstone, I think, has been relegated, so we're back to where we were before the red flag went out as far as Thunderbike Sport places go.
Got them with me now, Keith. That last lap flag is now going out, so only one more lap to go, and it is George Halliday with quite a significant lead, but it's all eyes on that battle for the lead in this Thunderbike Sport, because it's Adam Jameson ahead of Logan Stone. A little bit of a flash of flame from the exhaust pipe of the number 54 Yamaha for Adam Jameson as he leads Logan Stone down the avenue. Just behind them it was Ben Brown, Michael Bampton, Rob Saltmer is in third in class but sixth overall. Toby Finnis, James Fern fourth in class ahead of Nick Smith by 1.8 seconds. Nick Smith has a 1.8 second advantage over Jordan Kilworth to round out the top 10. But it is going to be eyes on the battle for the win, isn't it, Keith?
Yep, Stone has a good look at Jameson going down into Cascades. Can't do anything there, and I think it might have compromised his drive onto the long straights, and maybe he's lost the opportunity to get a slipstream. A little bit hard to tell from this distance, of course, but he's going to be running out of opportunities in real terms. I don't know what it's like to pass out the back. I can't actually remember what it's like out of Britain's or somewhere like that. Certainly Shell Oils is very tough indeed. And obviously the main passing places are down here into Hizzy's chicane and then up near you at Lodge there, where I keep forgetting to mention the Lodge Cats. The YPM marshals working up there. I keep seeing that there's 4 different cats apparently that keep appearing in the window and taking the time to watch the races. So no change here as they come past me. I have to say I think Brampton might be a little bit closer to Brown, but again we're not quite sure if that's a points position or not. Going straight on, one of the F900s takes the shortcut there. Well, it doesn't gain anything by it whatsoever, of course, as the checkered flag is getting prepared once again, my friend.
Certainly is. Checkered flag is now waiting the arrival of number 42 George Halliday on that Triumph Daytona 660. Here he comes. It's a victory for George Halliday, but in the Thunderbike Sport it's going to be Adam Jameson who gets the victory. 25 points for him in his championship bid ahead of Logan Stone, and then next up was Michael Bampton over the number 27 of Ben Brown. Toby Finnis found a way through on Rob Saltmer, but that is an on-track position as opposed to an in-class battle. So Rob Saltmer rounds off the podium in the Thunderbike Sports. James Fern, Nick Smith and Jordan Kilworth up next. So Jordan will be happy with his 6th place in class after a bit of an incident up at Druids in the previous race. Jordan Kilworth rounding out the overall top 10 ahead of Chris Dickinson. Then it's Terry Smith, Hayden Kilworth, Malvern May, and rounding out the top 15 is James Leatham with 7th in the Twins, 9 points for him. Next up it is David Luff ahead of Stuart May, and then the 131 of Kingston, that's Nicholas Kingston ahead of Andy Houghton, and then it's Ransom and number 63 Aaron Hans.